Okay, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the iconic universe that first came out in 2014 and is still going on till this day. The Power Universe. Now, a fun fact about me is that I have a guilty pleasure for drug crime shows. I don't know what it is, but I just have this thing for them. So the fact that I have this love for these type of shows is so crazy because ironically, before this video, I had never seen a single Power episode in my life. I've seen clips of it online and I knew that it had a big fan base or whatever, but I never really knew what it was truly about. Until now. Yes, I have binged every season. I have watched every show, including season 4 of Raisin Kanan that just ended like a few weeks ago. Today, I will be talking about all the Power shows, the characters, the good, the bad, the crazy, the drama. Yeah, I'm talking about you. And I'm just gonna talk about what happens in each show while also sprinkling my opinions in there. You're kinda gonna see me lose my sanity the more I go on, especially when I get to the bad shows of this universe. What is this? Why did this need to happen? And then I'm gonna give 3 big reasons on why no one takes the Power universe seriously. And yeah, let's just get right into it.
Our goal is the prosecution of one of the most notorious drug traffickers in our hemisphere.
We open up a nightclub to hide the money.
What if it could be more than that though, man?
I just want it to stay this way.
I won't be a drug dealer forever, Tasha.
Everybody starts out small. Question is, what do you want to make of yourself?
The entire Power universe starts off in 2014 with the first Power show, which for the majority of this video, I'll just be calling Book 1 just to make my life easier. You know, all the other shows have the Book 2, 3, 4 labeled to them. So yeah. Our protagonist is James St. Patrick, otherwise known as Ghost. James has been on top of the drug game for the past 20 years. He is New York's biggest drug dealer. He has the family, the money, the power, etc. But one day he realizes that if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to end up in jail or dead. So he then realizes that he needs to get out of the game. Ghost throughout the show is constantly torn between several worlds, wanting to be a successful club owner, having to be a ruthless drug dealer, and a supportive father and husband all at the same time. And that right there is so interesting because it's interesting to have a main protagonist of a drug show who, instead of trying to work his way up, already is at the top of the game but wants to leave it behind. But as you may guess, the story of Book 1 is that he can't easily just stop being New York's biggest cocaine dealer. Whether it's his best friend / business partner, wife who loves the lifestyle, past enemies, his employer, no matter how hard he tries, it's going to be nearly impossible for him to achieve. And also to add more chaos into his life, one night he runs into the former love of his life, Angela, who ironically is secretly a federal prosecutor who is hunting down a very dangerous and known drug dealer who, you guessed it, goes by the name Ghost. And there it is. This is what kicks season 1 off. Now, it's no secret that Book 1 is 100% the most popular show out of all the other Power shows. The nostalgia for it, the characters are the most iconic. Ghost is an insanely charming character. Tommy, the duologist of the show, is right up there with Ghost as far as iconic. What Joseph Sikora did with Tommy deserves an award. He gives such a powerful charisma to the character that it's impossible not to be entertained by him.
But you better not have told about our other thing.
This ain't my first rodeo. Do you think I'm fucking stupid?
You bought me a puppy?
You said you were lonely, so I got a bitch for my bitch.
That's not funny. What the fuck are you gonna do? Shoot me with Yaz and Big Mama right outside?
Don't worry. I got a silencer.
Ghost and Tommy dynamic carries the show so hard. Their banter, the yin and yang, is very entertaining. Ghost is the slow and steady brains, while Tommy, while also very intelligent, he's more the impulsive bronze of the two who likes to do the dirty work. They balance each other very well, which shows as they have been best friends since childhood and have been in the drug game side by side ever since. Now, season 1 is a good world building season. It easily sets up all these characters, their motivations, their character themes. Tasha is Ghost's wife, and while she does get ruined in the later seasons, in season 1 she fits perfectly as the insecure wife who can't trust her husband while he's falling back in love with Angela. Her and Ghost, while married and have 3 kids, have very different ideologies in the way they see the life they built. Ghost is tired of the drug game and just wants to build a legitimate business and legacy for himself, while Tasha doesn't see any reason for him to stop considering how successful they are in everything they have. It makes for very interesting scenes and their dynamic because of how much their ideologies differ, and they slowly lose their love for each other, but they still have to co-parent and be partners because they just can't get a divorce and separate without all the legal entities that come with that, being in the drug business. The show also does a stellar job of showing the rock solid friendship between the 3 as well. The villain, Kanan, played by one of the creators of the whole damn universe, who you may know as 50 Cent, is also very cool. He was Ghost and Tommy's mentor when they were growing up, but for this season, he's in prison, for reasons unknown to us at the moment. But Kanan manages to keep a close eye on Ghost and Tommy's business from his prison cell, and sets up a plan to get rid of their empire, because as it turns out, Ghost and Tasha was the one who set him up to go to prison. He set him up because Ghost wanted to expand on the drug business, but Kanan, who was his boss and mentor at the time, didn't agree. Situations like that, there's only really 2 ways you could go with it. You kill the king or you exile him. He decided on jail because Ghost loved Kanan as a brother, but when Kanan finds out the truth, shit goes down. He's going after Ghost and everything he loves. Kanan is one of those villains that works really well because he's the hero of his own story. So he pays a woman, known famously as Pink Sneakers. Yeah, it's corny, but I'll allow it. He hires her to bring down key players in Ghost's empire, seeding distrust between Ghost and the gang leaders that work for him.
Rola's dead.
Ghost, you dumb motherfucker. Anybody know he did it?
Not yet.
Well, we know 2 things. 1, Ghost trusts me. And 2, he's all alone now. Just got Tommy. And that boy way too dumb to see what's coming.
When?
I'll give you a signal. I want Ghost dead before I get out.
And by the time Kanan gets out, there will be no competition for him to take back his spot in the drug game. Because Kanan is the one doing it and Tommy and Ghost have no idea, Season 1 kinda has the whodunit mystery vibe, but obviously it's in Ghost and Tommy's perspective because they're losing their minds trying to figure out who's messing up their business. That's pretty much the gist of Season 1 as a whole, with also the subplot of Angela investigating to find out who the drug lord known as Ghost is. Every Power Show has the cop characters with them investigating our main characters. There's always a cop character to our protagonist, but yeah, anyways, those are basically the main points of Season 1. By the end of Season 1, Tommy learns the truth about Angela and her ongoing investigation. And also during a climatic conclusion at the club, Kanan decides that Ghost's time on this world is officially over and sends his assassin, Pink Sneakers, to take him out. But she missed. The season ends with Kanan finally out of jail, with him thinking that Ghost was shot dead at the club, and Ghost's club being temporarily shut down by police. A financial setback which forces him to reconsider a previous deal put forth by his drug supplier, Felipe Lobos, to sell double the cocaine and, to his sadness, remain the biggest drug dealer in New York City.
I have a sudden need for a larger influx of cash.
We have a deal. If you come through, the rewards will be massive. If not, well, I know the stakes, F.A. It's quite a large commitment. I know. I'll be the biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York City.
Now, while Season 1 is good, there are some elements I don't like about it. For one, the amount of sex scenes there are in this show is disgusting. Power is often criticized for being a over-glamorized show that tries to do too much, and I could 100% see that criticism where there's 100 sex scenes in every fucking episode, and there's only 8 episodes in Season 1, and they don't even add anything to the story. They're just there for some reason, and it's really, really uncomfortable and weird. How many times do I have to see Ghost fuck Angela on a table, bro? Come on, man. And also, the Ghost and Angela romantic storyline is probably at its most tolerable this season, Their relationship was something I was never really a fan of. I think they're one of the most toxic and weird relationships in TV history. I'll get to that more later though.
You know who would love these crazy stories about when we was kids? His wife, Tasha.
One thing I noticed watching the first few episodes is how the show tries to do this clever thing where Ghost's drug business is actually a secret and kept from his family. But then episode by episode, you find out that Tasha knows about it and is okay with it. So is her mom. Like the whole family knows besides the kids. It's just a funny thing I noticed because they try to make it seem like it's this big secret while everyone already knows. But whatever. Season 1 is good. Kind of slow, but a good start. But season 2 is where the show automatically finds its footing. After accepting Lobos' offer to distribute double the amount of drugs, Ghost and Tommy find themselves with a lot of product and not enough dealers to sell it, and not enough resources to clean the money. That's basically their problems throughout the season. After Tommy learns the truth about Angela, he suspects that Ghost is working with her and confronts him, but Ghost tells Tommy he had no idea. Tommy wants him to kill her, but Ghost is pussy whipped, so that's not gonna happen. Oh, and Kanan is out of jail, and Tommy wants to bring him back into the fold, but Ghost is hesitant. But Kanan manages to get on Tommy's good side and roll with him until he can find a way to permanently get rid of Ghost. You see, Tommy didn't have anything to do with Kanan being in jail, so Kanan's cool with Tommy.
Tommy, tell him what we gonna do.
Now you talking. Huh? We're gonna throw you one with the biggest asses you have ever seen. That's still your shit, right?
Damn straight.
There's also the Tommy getting arrested storyline when Angela, catches him in a drug meeting with Lobos. And it's a really funny couple of episodes just seeing them try to break down Tommy and try to get him to snitch, even though Tommy will never do that. Like, he's not a snitch. That's like the one thing his character fucking hates more than anything.
Angie, yeah. Fucking rotten cunt, bitch! You ain't never changed!
They're gonna take everything. They can do that, can't they?
Yes, they can, if they determine you bought the house with money from illegal proceeds.
Oh, so I'm totally fucked then!
Oh, man, would you
And it makes for very interesting scenes with Ghost because you never really know what side he's going to play on. You never really know if he's going to help out Tommy or if he's going to help out Angela or if he wants Tommy to stay in jail so he could be with Angela. You never really know what he's going to do, and that really makes for very intriguing moments. And also soon enough throughout the season, Angela is putting together the pieces and she finds out it's actually her man. That's Ghost. And as Ghost continues to run his drug empire, Kanan keeps trying to knock him off to become the top dog. Then Ghost points his gun at Kanan. There's a whole lot of fighting, stabbing, burning, and suddenly Kanan's dead. Or is he? Later, Tommy is approached by Ghost and Ghost tells him that he's officially out of the game. He decides to kill off anyone who could ever identify him. Louise, dead. Drifty, dead. Vladimir, dead. Lobos, dead. Well, so Ghost thinks. And he's convinced he's now left the drug world completely behind him.
You know what? Maybe I am fucking stupid. Because I thought this was some sort of midlife crisis shit. Fuck your bitch from high school, play what if, and move on. And I thought, when you got me out of jail and burned Angela, that you were still the same old Ghost underneath all the bullshit. No matter how much your suits cost. Or how many clubs you ever own, you just a ghetto-ass corner boy from Roundaway with a drunk for daddy. And no mama.
Angela finally, at the end, discovers the truth, but because of her love for him and their history, she can't bring it upon herself to just arrest him. Ghost assures Angela that he's officially done with the drug business, and Angela believes him and gets rid of all the files she's ever had on James St. Patrick, and throws all her morals out the window to be with him. Now, season 2 to me is the best season of the show. The writing, entertainment, villain are all pretty solid, but I think my favorite thing about the season is the ending. Like that last scene where every character is basically getting a little teaser for what their life is going to be like in the next season is my favorite scene of the entire Power universe.
You burned me to protect St. Patrick. You fucking sold me out. Because you know your boyfriend's dirty. You know he's Ghost, right? He's going out, Angela. I swear to God. You're going out with him.
Believe that you were not aware A ghost plan to compromise us. We would never sign up for that.
You sent this motherfucker here to kill me anyway.
No. I want us to work together.
Music to my ears.
But first, I need you to do something for me. Kill Ghost. I know this will be difficult for you. So I'm going to make it a very simple choice. Kill Fantasma and become my sole distributor, or I will kill the both of you. And the girl. And the dog.
It's a longer scene than this. It's almost a 10-minute montage of the characters knowing they're going to be completely fucked in the next season, and we're just over here thinking to ourselves, how are they going to get out of their situations? But unfortunately, and why I put these seasons in their little section, season 1 and 2 are kind of the peak of book 1, so what we get after is not that great.
Ghost, we need you out in these streets.
I'm out the game. This club, this life.
You got no clue what you're getting yourself into. You're gonna be doing for Ghost the rest of your life.
When we last left James in season 2, he was convinced he had gotten out of the drug business. Angela loves him, but everyone else hates him. Lobos, their drug supplier, is still alive, and he hates him and wants him dead. Kanan is still alive somewhere and definitely hates him, but on the bright side, James has gone full-blown legit. He's got a new protege, and his club business is banging. Unfortunately, now that James is out of the cocaine business, Tommy has to take on all the responsibility. Plus, after Lobos survived James' assassination attempt in prison, he pressures Tommy to kill James. Obviously, he doesn't do it, but it's just drama to add for the season. And this is the first season where the iconic, most annoying kid character in television history gets more screen time. Their son Tariq begins acting out with everything going on in his life, whether it's Ghost spending a lot of his time with Angela, whether it's his parents always lying to him. He knows something's off and is pissed off about it. And Kanan swoops in at just the right time, becoming a father figure.
Real men apologize.
So you want me to apologize to her like I did to your side bitch, right?
What the fuck did you just say to me, little motherfucker? Say it!
Don't worry about Tariq, I'm gonna talk about him more later. Ghost is preoccupied at the moment because he's trying to make peace with Tommy. Tommy in the first few episodes is going back and forth contemplating on killing Ghost. Now yes, Ghost does lie to Tommy all the time and manipulates the hell out of him, but they're still best friends, so Tommy's having a hard time trying to pull the trigger. They eventually make up, and Tommy and him team up with a plan to kill Lobos, which they do, by the way.
Killing me doesn't save you. One day, you will find yourself standing right here. God doesn't take men like us peacefully while we sleep.
And this is where your life ends. Nighty-night, F.A.
There's also a new villain, Milan, who pops up after Lobos and is a Russian cannibal, so yeah. Just to be clear, I'm gonna give my opinions in more detail about the villains of the show later in the video, so just hang on, I'm gonna talk about all these guys later, don't worry. James and Tommy finally put their differences aside and come up with a plan to take Milan out of the picture. And Angela finds James' fingerprints on a crime scene of her friend. She thinks he killed him to cover up his tracks and arrests him for murder.
That doesn't matter now.
Of course it matters. Our love matters. Now we can be together.
No, we can't.
There's this guy, he's Greg. He's like, the guy who wants to take down Ghost because Ghost took his girl. Like, that's just what his whole character is. And he has like a bunch of shit on Ghost and Angela, and he's about to show it to his fellow police officers. But, Ghost wants to figure out what happens, wants to see if he has any leads on him. So he went into his house to find out anything, but surprisingly, he left his fingerprints there. And unknown to Ghost, right after he leaves, Greg actually dies because a mole in the police station who is working for Lobos the whole time, he finds out that Greg has some information and he just kills him on the spot. But since Ghost's fingerprints were there on the scene, they think that Ghost killed him. So there's that whole thing, I guess. So Angela arrests him for murder. You see how Angela is in love with Ghost, and then she hates him, and then she loves him, and then she hates him? So I guess I should just talk about it now just to get out the way. The Ghost and Angela relationship is pretty weird. The backstory is that they dated in high school and were in love. They were soulmates until Angela left him, and for the first time in like 18 years, Ghost has reunited with her in the first episode. I think Ghost just sees the life he could have had with her. Like with Tasha, he's just Ghost, but with Angela, he could just be James St. Patrick. I think their feelings for each other are nice and sweet, but I think the individual choices throughout the relationship are so dumb. Ghost pretty much abandons any amount of brain cells he has when he's with Angela. He knows Angela works for the police. He knows she's getting closer to finding out the truth, but he still can't stay away from her. Some will say if Ghost truly loved Angela, he should have let her go. The reality is that Angela would still be alive. Spoiler alert, she dies in season 5, had she never been involved with Ghost. I think he did love Angela sincerely and he viewed her as the love of his life, but he never took into consideration her own feelings and her own life. Don't get me wrong, Ghost did break up with Angela during the Milan situation, but that was more so because Milan was a direct threat to Angela. But the same thing goes for Angela. They were in love with versions of themselves they never became. Their whole relationship was escapism and fantasy, either reliving their high school days and talking about the dreams they had before they both turned into the horrible people they are today, or dreaming about a future that was basically never going to happen. They both hadn't really come to terms with who they were in life, and they saw each other as an escape for that. And they're also like really toxic together. Like at first, Angela is willing to throw her career on the line and abandon all her morals to be with him, but then she arrests him for murder. And she knows he's killed people before, but now she wants to arrest him for murder and is perfectly okay with him getting the death penalty. And no, this doesn't stop anything. Ghost is still in love with her soon after he gets out of jail. And then also, some may say if Ghost really loved Angela, why didn't he just divorce Tasha and get it over with? He kept dragging his feet between Tasha and Angela all the time. I know Ghost and Tasha getting a divorce was very difficult in the earlier seasons, but after season 4, they basically hated each other, and Tasha said she wanted a divorce and wanted to be with other men. And you wanna know what Ghost does? He kills the man Tasha wants to be with. He's so back and forth, like it's crazy.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, you know what? Let me show you the sign.
Honestly, since I'm mentioning it, most of the relationships in these shows are not actually good. Not all of them are terrible, but most of them are really bad. Like Tommy and Holly suck. Tariq and Effie suck. Tariq and Diana suck. Tommy and Lakeisha, who cares? None of them are interesting dynamics to me at all. And I'm a guy who loves relationship storylines. I love teen drama shows. I eat that shit up. I actually just watched Forever, the black love drama that's been trending on Netflix, and it's the realest representation of a Gen Z relationship I've ever seen. This shit hit too close to home, bro. But with these shows, I just feel nothing for these relationships. It's so odd. They're all so boring and badly written. It's honestly insane. But to conclude, both of them are pretty toxic characters individually and together, and obviously they don't get their happy ending. Yo, Angela's vagina must have been something, bro. Ghost didn't even scream like that when his daughter died in season 4. Speaking of season 4, so season 4 is a very different season because Ghost is in jail for the majority of it and is fighting for his life for something he didn't do. Now, yes, Ghost has killed a lot of people before, but this time he actually didn't do it, so I kind of feel bad for him. Ghost in jail was really interesting to me because it provides like a different environment, a different way that we see Ghost in a way. Like he's a black man in jail for the whole season and he's about to get the death penalty, and we see how that affects him, and we see him actually kind of losing his fucking mind a little bit.
Angela served a search warrant on the apartment. Raina was pretty upset.
Angela was there?
Yes. The cops were in their rooms, went through their things.
When I get out, I'll make it up to them, okay? When I get out, I'll make it up to all of you. Hush, I didn't do this.
Angela does, after a while, eventually realizes it wasn't Ghost who killed Greg, and she's determined to find out who the real mole is to clear Ghost's name.
There would be no reason to do that unless they implicated you. What did Lobos have on you?
I see no alternative but to dismiss the charges against the defendant.
Thank you, Angela.
Don't thank me, Jamie.
James is now a free man, but hey, not before killing the prison guard. Oh, and also Kanan and Ghost are, I guess they're friends now. They team up to save a kidnapped Tariq from Jukebox, Kanan's old best friend who appears to help Kanan get revenge on Ghost. And she goes crazy and threatens to kill Tariq. Kanan shoots the bitch, and yeah, everyone's happy. Oh yeah, to remind y'all, the sister dies in this season, by the way. Ghost's daughter. Because Tariq being stupid kinda got her involved in his shady business, and this guy who wanted Tariq dead shoots her. Wow, they killed one of the kids, that's crazy. Ghost and Tasha are obviously heartbroken, and then the rest of the season is them hunting down the man who killed her, with Tariq as revenge being the one shooting the bullet. But once he's out of jail, for blah 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 reasons, Ghost is broke now and he needs money, and he needs to get back into the drug game. But with Ghost being in jail for most of the season and Tommy not being able to handle everything on his own, they both get demoted out of the drug game by their rival slash ex-protege in Dre. Now this is Dre, the ultimate snake. He was introduced in season 2 as Kanan's sidekick, and then he betrays him to team up with Tommy, and then he betrays Tommy and teams up with Ghost, and then he betrays Ghost and goes back to Kanan. You get it. He's a traitor who just goes to the winning side most of the time, but killing him turns out to be a lot more complicated than Ghost and Tommy and Kanan originally thought, considering Dre's protected by his drug suppliers.
Why should we trust you?
I want to be the biggest goddamn drug dealer in New York City. And I can't do that working for Tommy.
The season ends with Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan teaming up to get their jobs back. So at this point, I guess Dre is the biggest drug dealer in New York City. And then season 5 happens, and it's the season where power just sort of became bad. There's just too much going on in this season. It's a fucking mess. But to give you the pointers, Kanan dies randomly because Tariq and Tasha set him up. Like, that's how you're killing one of the most loved characters in Power? Like, are you serious? Oh, Tommy finds out he has a dad, which comes out of fucking nowhere. And then he kills the dad because the dad was a snitch? Okay. Oh, and Kendrick Lamar is here.
Side effects may include stiffness, dizziness, butt bleeds, nut burns, and dick noise.
Get the fuck out of here.
You nasty, nasty nigga.
And Angela dies because Tommy kills her, but he was actually aiming for Ghost. It's like picking random storylines out of a hat. I don't know what's going on anymore. The reason Tommy was aiming for Ghost is because Ghost tricked Tommy to kill his dad.
You tricked me into killing Teresi! He was snitching on you the whole time, not me!
And yes, Ghost tricks Tommy, his best friend, to kill his dad because his dad was a snitch. But the thing is, he wasn't snitching on Tommy, he was only snitching on Ghost. But that's the thing about Ghost. Some fans put him on a high pedestal like he does no wrong. And yes, he is probably the most morally good-hearted person on this show. Like, if he knows you're not made for the drug business, or even worse, you're messing up his business, he will give you a way out. He will give you money to leave the city to start a new life. But if you put him in a position where you're impossible to reason with, he will kill you. And yes, I don't like Angela really as a character, and I think she peaked after season 2, to be honest. But why kill such an important character and love interest before the final season in such a weird way? This is also the season where the family bonds and the friendships all these characters had are just fucking ruined. They all hate each other. They all have no problem with killing each other. Like, all the dynamics from season 1 are fucking ruined. And it's not that I have a problem with that per se, but it kind of just happens. You know, it doesn't happen organically. No build up. Everyone just kind of hates each other now. I say the only thing I kinda like was Ghost pretty much reeling from the death of his daughter, while also trying to team up with Tommy and Kanan to bring down Dre. Instead of just being obsessed with Angela, he actually has character development for once. But besides that, the season is a swing and a miss for me. It's such an underwhelming, forgettable, messy season that just relies on shock factor more than storytelling. I don't really want to talk about it anymore, and it was the worst season for me personally while I was watching this show. Well, until I watched season 6.
Knew anything, you know by now. I ain't no snitch. So if me talking is the best you got to figuring out who shot Ghost, you out of luck. I
Did not shoot
James St. Patrick.
And then there's the final season of Power. The final season of Power is just stupid. And the thing with season 6, it sets up heavily Tariq's spin-off show. So just think of Tariq as the main character of season 6. Like I said before, he's a really stupid character, so seeing him 90% of the time kinda stresses me out a little bit. Like, I don't care about him and his fucking friends in school. Who cares, bro? By this point, none of the characters are really friends anymore. That family vibe in season 1 and 2 is just gone. Tasha just becomes a monster. She kills her own best friend, encourages Tariq to be a drug dealer even though they just lost a kid because of that, and constantly manipulates Tariq against Ghost. Tommy is just there. He has a new love interest, and surprise, surprise, he gets attached and then she just dies in a brutal way. Wonder where I've seen that before. Tommy and Ghost are pretty much not talking. They're just like arguing every fucking scene they're in. Because, you know, obviously Tommy killed Angela. So that leads to Ghost and Tommy, you know, just kind of just arguing the whole fucking season.
Did you really think I wasn't gonna find out what you did? What I did? You killed Angela. She's dead.
Tommy, I say we put our differences aside and take Jason down together.
Go fuck yourself. And the next time I see you, I'm gonna cancel Christmas on your ass.
But that's kind of like every season after season 2. They just argue for the whole season and then they come back together in the finale to take down whoever's the big bad of that season. And then Ghost, with the love of his life gone, is basically on his last legs of giving a shit about anything and decides to just be a politician, and that is his final idea to get out of the game and move past all this bullshit. But spoiler alert, doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. He dies at the end, which is actually shown to us in episode 10. And then for some stupid reason, the last 5 episodes of the show are a whodunit mystery. Come on, guys, let's see 5 different perspectives of what happened the night Ghost was shot. And it's such a waste of time. This shit is so pointless. Like, why do I have to see the same scenes over and over again, but with a different perspective?
Me talking is the best you got to figuring out who shot Ghost. You out of luck. I
did not shoot
James St. Patrick.
If you know anything about the shooting of James St. Patrick, please call 1-833-WHO-SHOT or tweet us using hashtag #WhoShotGhost.
I am so happy that I did not watch Power during this time, because if the show I was watching killed off the main character 5 episodes before the actual series finale, and then we have these dumbass who killed him mystery episodes, which you can make the argument that they were just a cash grab, I would have been so tight. So I am sorry for you guys who had to experience this. Shit, even NBA players were guessing who killed Ghost.
Tasha ain't shoot Ghost. She would have someone else do it. She would have someone else do it.
And then the last episode is Tariq's perspective, but first, a little context. So, a majority of book 1, and pretty much the stepping stone for book 2, really revolves around the relationship of Tariq and Ghost. Now, once upon a time, Tariq was not important at all for the first 2-3-ish seasons. But then the writers decided that Tariq should have a bigger role in the show. And hey, why not give the kid some lines? The problem is that the dialogue they give him is fucking stupid. Tariq's character is really just him hating Ghost because Ghost lied to him his whole life about how their family got their money or whatever. Okay, fine, I get that. But why is this anger only directed at Ghost? I'm not joking. Any other character can do the worst to Tariq, and he would still find a way to blame Ghost for it. Kanan kills Tariq's friend, kidnaps Tariq, almost gets him killed, but Tariq just forgives him. Tasha basically kills Tariq's aunt, lies to him constantly, manipulates him, and also lied to him his whole life about the family business. And Tariq just forgives her. He just forgives her. I can understand why Tariq has a hard time liking his dad, but why does he blame him for everything and no one else? It makes no fucking sense. Ghost is the only one who wants Tariq to have the life he never got, but Tariq can't ever see that for some reason.
Fuck you! Fuck you! I fucking hate you!
Tariq, I've been wrong about a lot of shit.
Fuck that shit. He's a fucking liar, Uncle Tommy. He ruined all of our lives. Can't you see that?
And I swear to God, I'll murder you myself.
You're just a little kid.
I'm not a little kid.
Yes, the fuck you are!
Ghost, please.
You never told me the truth about who you really were growing up. You lied to me about Sean and how he died.
I told you the truth, okay? It was Kanan who lied to you about how he killed his son.
Jukebox told me. You never said a word.
I don't understand what the writers were smoking while writing this character. He's written like a spoiled rich kid who wants to be a drug dealer just because. They try so hard to make him seem like this tough gangster, but he's not. He is so boring and doesn't have any relatable traits. He's just a kid who wants to move up in the drug business for no fucking reason. And it's embarrassing. And the funniest thing is that every episode, this guy always says, I'm not gonna be anything like my dad, I'm better than him. But he's just like him, if not worse. He's literally following the same steps as his dad, but still thinks he's better than him. This character sucks, bro. And don't give me the bullshit that Tariq was mad that Ghost was always hanging out with Angela. Bro, it happens. Parents get divorced sometimes. Calm down. And the thing that pisses me off so much is how much the writers in season 6, Courtney Kemp, more specifically, tried to make Tariq seem like the hero of the story by making the character of Ghost drastically different in season 6. Ghost started putting his hands on Tasha. Ghost would have never done that in the previous seasons. Ghost puts a gun to Tariq's head. Ghost would have put hands on Tariq, but he was never that cold-blooded to put a gun towards his head. Ghost starts talking shit to everybody and insults everyone. Ghost was a cocky character, but he wouldn't make unnecessary enemies. That's not his character at all. Like, he's too smart and calm for that. Ghost runs for governor. His name is Ghost. He spent his entire life living in the shadows and keeping his identity secret. Why was someone who still has associates and enemies in the street, plus the FBI after him, run for political office? Even for him falling in love with this character seemed rushed. Ghost loses the woman he loved since he was a kid, and then he just moves on that quickly. Like, his character is written very weird in season 6. And the writers try to gaslight the audience that Tariq is actually a good kid and the hero of the story, and that Ghost is a terrible dad and he hates Tariq. And then Tariq, out of rage for his dad, kills him, and Ghost dies in the hands of his best friend, and that's it. That's the end of Power. It's not even Ghost dying that irks me. The show made it clear from the first episode that he will either die or be in jail by the end, but it's just the way they did it that was just really weird. I get Ghost wanted Tariq to turn himself in for the murder of the guy who killed his daughter, so he could learn some, responsibility. But come on, Tariq wasn't even gonna do hard time. Ghost just wanted to teach him a lesson, steer him away from that life, and then he was just gonna use his political connections to get him out. But anyway, Tasha gets blamed for the killing of Ghost, and Tariq goes to college because apparently in Ghost's will, he left his whole estate and riches to Tariq and his other daughter. But the catch is that Tariq has to complete a 4-year education with honors as one last hope to reach his son from beyond the grave and give him a chance to have a normal life.
Sorry, Tariq, but she did. We're gonna put your mother under arrest.
No!
Tasha Green St. Patrick, you're under arrest for the murder of James St. Patrick.
She didn't do it. She didn't.
Go to school.
This season is kind of one of the worst final seasons I've ever seen. Everything just feels tired. The actors seem like they just want this shit to be over already. All the characters are not acting like themselves. There's no real plot, no direction. The final 5 episodes are absolutely pointless. Who the hell asked for an episode dedicated to Angela's sister? The series finale is garbage. The whole season just feels like an advertisement for Tariq's spin-off show, and that's it. Oh god, I hate Tariq in book 1 so much. This might be a hot take, but I think Tariq in book 1, I'm only talking about book 1 right now, I think he's one of the worst written characters in all of television. Yeah, I went there. He's annoying. He's always contradicting himself. He's always angry about something. He never listens to anyone. He's always making shit worse. He always has to be the damsel in distress that people have to save. He just sucks as a character. And I wouldn't be saying this if his character was supposed to be like this dickhead, annoying guy. If he was written like that on purpose, fine, I get it. But the way Courtney Kemp and all these other people from Power talk about Tariq like he's this angel and underdog hero is just absolutely baffling to me. They clearly did not expect the hate for this character from the fan base to be so drastic, so therefore he's an annoying, badly written character, and to me, one of the worst written in history. And Ghost is dead, by the way. Like, he does not come back for any of the other shows. Amari Hardwick does not make an appearance at all after book 1. Apparently, there was a lot of behind-the-scenes drama between Amari Hardwick and Courtney Kemp. A lot of fans say Courtney ruined the character of Ghost on purpose, and Amari Hardwick felt the character should have been explored way more and wanted to handle his ending in a different way, which I can see they definitely could have explored more with his backstory, but Courtney wouldn't budge and Ghost just ends up dying to Tariq. Since the character of Ghost is based on Courtney's real-life dad, there's theories that she had a biased vendetta against the character because of her complex relationship with her dad, and didn't want to give a satisfying ending to the character on purpose. And I don't know if that's true, it's just what I see online. Apparently the drama was so crazy between them that Courtney actually wanted to kill off Ghost in season 5, and 50 Cent had to step in to volunteer for her to kill off Kanan so he could be the shock value for that season. What the fuck was she thinking? How the hell were you gonna make a season 6 of Power without the main character? And I could only kinda understand it if Courtney wanted season 5 to be the last season, but if she was actually planning on doing an entire season without Ghost in season 6, holy shit, that would have been an awful idea. And this is 100% true, by the way. You could search this up if you all don't believe me. 50 Cent has said in public that Courtney wanted to kill off Ghost in season 5 because she just wanted to get rid of Amari Hardwick because she was tired of him for reasons. And it's not just Amari Hardwick and Courtney Kemp. There are a lot of behind the scenes drama in these shows. 50 Cent and Amari Hardwick had a very public feud about a year ago. Even Joseph Sikora and Gianni Paolo had some beef. There was also another behind the scenes drama when Courtney was dating the actor who plays 2-Bits on the show. 2-Bits is a very, I say, semi-popular character. He's popular though, he's a fan favorite. But he doesn't really appear at all after book 1. He makes a couple of appearances, like a Disney cameo, and then he just leaves. And a lot of people were saying because Courtney was dating him and then they broke up, that she ended the character's story on purpose. And I don't know if that's true, really. That's just what I see online. But yeah, Courtney is not a very loved showrunner, and a lot of fans kind of just ignore everything she says nowadays. She's not really a showrunner anymore for Power shows. She left around book 2, season 2 to go work for Netflix, but she's still the producer of these shows along with 50 Cent. So her input is there, but not too much of it is there, which is probably for the best. Regardless of all that, with all the damage she caused to the character, I have to say Ghost with the beard in season 6 was hilarious. He just gets drunk and talks shit the whole season. It's so funny.
He's loving this shit. You know that, Tasha. That I'm living with this. That the woman I love is gone.
Yeah, I feel really bad about that.
But you are. You's a wannabe gangster. A fucking wannabe. You had all the potential, Dre, but at the end of the day, you ain't got the shit to make it work.
Man, fuck you!
Yeah, fuck me.
I passed my background check, okay? Tommy made his choices, and you just worried about you. Keep it all the way 100. Cut the bullshit and stop selling drugs. I'm taking Tariq and Yaz with me in Albany.
You can't take my kids.
You're a drug dealer. Of course I can. Tasha, I release you, okay? I release you from our marriage completely. Go ahead. Be Tasha Green, the half-smart chickenhead who'd still be in the fucking hood if it wasn't for me.
It's hard to say if Amari will ever come back as James St. Patrick. He has said in multiple interviews that he wants to come back, but it has to be a specific way that he has in his mind. So who knows what's going to happen with that? Amari Hardwick has stated a lot of times that he absolutely did not like the ending of his character, and he actually had a different ending in mind, which I'll get to later in the video. If they do bring him back like in a flashback, or if they just say fuck it and he faked his death and was alive this whole time, just please bring him back in style and true to the character, and make sure he's got the suits. He needs to have his iconic suits. Ghost without the suits is like Harry Potter without his wand, or Zuko without his scar, the Flash without his speed, Dominic Toretto without family. You get it, you get the point. One does not work without the other. But yeah, that's the first Power, guys. It's definitely remembered as the most iconic show in the universe. You can say it's nostalgia, but I will say the characters, while also flawed, definitely help with this show's popularity. Everybody wants to be smooth like Ghosts. Amari Hardwick, after all these years, is still arguably the face of this franchise in a way, even without showing up once after book 1. And his performance is just as iconic as the character. No question about that. He embodied this character. Same thing goes for Joseph Sikora as Tommy. He is Tommy. He's just so charismatic and fun in this role, and it's impossible not to love his performance. These two characters are elevated by the actors' performances that make the characters feel like real, unique individuals. And also, even though I don't like Tasha after season 4, Natori Nanten is great as Tasha, no question about that. My hatred for the character has absolutely nothing to do with the actor's performance. And I know a lot of fans just don't like Tasha at all, period. Like, they just don't like her. But I have to admit, if you forget about all of this, I actually kinda love her in the earlier seasons. Like I said way earlier in the video, I really like her and Ghost's complicated relationship where they fall out of love for each other but still have to work together for the sake of their family, while also still kinda caring about each other. And when it wasn't ruined, her and Tommy's friendship was right up there being one of the best friendships of the show, along with Ghost and Tommy. But anyway, Natori Nanten is really cool in this show, and I'm glad she's in it.
Yo, Taj, about to cancel Christmas on these motherfuckers. Yeah, you got any more hush puppies up in here?
Was that supposed to be me?
Yeah.
You fucking sound like that.
I don't fucking sound like that.
Same with Leela Lauren. She's really good as Angela and has really good chemistry with Amari Hardwick. They really make you feel like they've known each other their whole lives. I don't think they're the greatest characters in TV history like a lot of people say they are for some reason, but they're still cool. They're still iconic. So let's just move on to book 2, Ghost.
We trust this kid, Tariq.
I know how to keep him in line.
So book 2 was very much a gamble by the creators because Tariq at this point is most likely the most hated kid character in television history. I know I wasn't watching Power around that time, but even I saw the outrage when Tariq killed Ghost. I couldn't even escape that shit online on Twitter. It was everywhere. Everybody hated Tariq and what he did. So to make a spin-off of him was kind of ballsy, but it paid off. Sort of. Book 2 is probably the most divisive out of all the shows. One half of the fan base says this show is the best spin-off in the universe, it's the closest thing to book 1, and then there's the other half that say that this show is dumb and is the worst show, even worse than this shit. I guess I'm in the group that says this show is kinda stupid, it makes no sense, you know, but I don't think the show is unwatchable. It's just a fun mess, and that's it. So book 2 is right after book 1. Tasha is in jail for the murder of Ghost, and Tariq makes it his mission to graduate college and get the money that Ghost left for him. Oh yeah, to remind everyone, when Ghost died, he left his whole estate to Tariq, but the twist is that Tariq has to go to college and graduate with honors. So think of book 2 as book 1, but in college. We get a whole bunch of new characters. Tariq makes a friend who is like the Tommy to his Ghost, except Brayden is nothing like Tommy besides him being the comedic one of the duo. But more importantly, we meet the Tejada family. But I have a really funny thing to talk about when it comes to this family, and you'll need a little context. The last video I posted was a retrospective on the musical phenomenon that took over the world in 2015 in Empire. Empire was a very popular show, and then it had a downfall. A really bad downfall. I'm not gonna get into all that, that's all in the video if you want to watch it. But I was checking out the comments and a lot of people were telling me to check out Power, so I guess you could thank them for this video. But I also saw different comments comparing Power to Empire. And then I did some research online, and it turns out a lot of people look at Power as a cheap copycat of Empire, or they look at Empire as a cheap copycat of Power. And the most obvious one people compare it to is book 1, since it came out around the same time. And if you ask me, I personally don't think they're similar shows at all, besides having a main black cast. Empire is more of a musical show that deals with a musical company, and then obviously Power deals with drugs and there's no music involved. But the reason I said all this is because yes, I do think that book 1 and Empire have no similarities, but book 2 and Empire definitely have a similarity to each other. More specifically when it comes to the Tejada family, which consists of Monet, Lorenzo, Kane, Drew, and Diana. Now, to the people who have watched Empire, tell me if this sounds familiar. Monet and Lorenzo are the king and queen of their business who have complicated relationships with their kids. They need to decide which of these children are going to take over the business. The oldest sibling, who is the most passionate about the business and feel like he deserves it the most. The middle child, who is gay and doesn't want the business, but he kinda does, and he doesn't, and then he kinda does again, and he's gay. And the youngest child, who is really just there most of the time and doesn't really care about anything besides their own personal interests and are annoying most of the time. And yeah, there you go. They literally copied and pasted the Empire family. Anyway, back to book 2. Tariq meets the Tejada family and they magically trust him because of plot, and he decides to work for them selling drugs on campus because he has to pay for his mom's lawyer throughout season 1. So yeah, season 1 is a good first season. It really made it easy to get attached to these new characters after watching book 1 with its more iconic cast. The lawyer is a great addition to the cast, basically the Black Saul Goodman of the show. Brayden is a very cool character, very funny guy. The Tejada family are cool and are probably the most likable in season 1. Kane's actor, Woody McClain, is fantastic in this show and is probably the best actor, to be honest. I've actually been a huge fan of Woody McClain since the days when he was in the New Edition Bobby Brown biopic back in 2017. These biopics are amazing, by the way. And he really adds a lot of emotion and humidity to the character of Kane, while also making him badass as well. I don't think I would have been able to finish this show if he wasn't in it.
The fuck, you live in this bitch now?
Yeah, and you're at a party and you didn't invite her, brother?
Shut up, Tom Brady. Okay, well, this all seems pretty high stakes. Why are you always coming to me for this? Shut the fuck up and listen. Yeah, I got you.
I need some ideas, quick.
Don't look at Taylor Swift. He not the one to help out with the Russians.
That's why you fucking with Effie to try to get back at me. You wanna be me, my nigga. I understand that.
Much, because you sure did leave Shorty thirsty.
Kane as a character is really just proving himself to his mom that he could take over the family business. And yes, that does seem like already a dragged out plot in power shows, you know, proving yourself to the parent. But Woody McClain really elevates this character like crazy. His character also kind of became like a meme because of his so-called obsession with Tariq. It's weird too because Tariq doesn't really do anything to Kane. The only reason Kane gets mad at Tariq is because of his jealousy of Monet going to Tariq for all her problems. And then the other times are usually just like a misunderstanding between the characters. And it sucks too because if these two characters were actually friends, they would fucking rule New York City, like no bullshit. With Kane as the terrifying enforcer and Tariq's intelligence, they would be unstoppable. But Hey, it is what it is, I guess. He's probably the most interesting Tejada as well, and Lorenzo is a good villainous character in season 1. I love how even though he's in jail this season, he still has so much control and fear in his family to the point when there's a sense of tension for the characters and what's gonna happen when this big, bad, tough guy gets out of jail.
Your son is fine.
He's gonna start working for us.
Who is this? What do you want?
Make sure he does what we say. If you don't,
Tariq dies.
Things start to pick up more in the later half of the season when Tasha is not acquitted and is free for the murder of Ghost. But in order to do that, she had to snitch on Tommy and blame the murder of Ghost on Tommy, which is a big no-no. The thing about Tommy's character is that the one thing he hates more than anything are rats. And yes, you guessed it, Tommy comes back with a vow that he is going to kill Tasha.
She gonna catch a hot one for sure. Trying to pin Ghost murder on me. When we both know who did that.
The scene where Tommy and Tariq reunite after the events of book 1 is so awesome. And I think it's the first scene when the writers are finally aware that Tariq and Tasha are not good people. Every time Tariq is trying to defend himself and plead Tommy to spare his mom, Tommy is countering everything with a valid point on why Tasha and also Tariq need to die. They need to be rid of this world because of all the shit they've pulled. Tariq is losing the argument every time because in his heart, he knows he's wrong for killing his dad.
Listen, Uncle Tommy, she's all I got, eh?
Now whose fault is that?
It's a really good final few episodes that really made season 1 more exciting. I guess you could just say it's because Tommy comes back, but whatever. Tasha manages to escape to witness protection, Tommy leaves to fight for another day, and Tariq is ready to start his new life with the Tejada family. So yeah, season 1 is really solid from what I can remember. Even Tariq as a character is way better. His motivation for being in the drug game, instead of being want to be a drug dealer because it's in my blood bullshit, is to make money to pay off the lawyer for his mom. His motivation makes sense and I can sympathize with that. Season 1 Tariq actually seemed like a protagonist worth rooting for. He wanted to save his mom from a crime he committed. He expressed remorse for his sister's death and even Ghost's death in a way. And Michael Rainey Jr. is a decent actor. His acting does come off as cringe and corny sometimes, but he does get better throughout the seasons with his acting, so it's cool, it's whatever. But sadly, after season 1, Tariq kinda just loses all that character development. His hatred for his dad continues. He still wants to be in the drug game even though after Tasha is out of jail and safe, he has no reason to sell drugs anymore. I know there was times he was forced back into the game, but there was also plenty of times he could have just walked away. The writers kinda made him ghost but bland, if that makes any sense. Never even understood who his dad was or felt remorse for killing him. Nothing. And that's something I feel like this show really missed. Like they could have really dove into Tariq's character a lot more by making him understand who his dad really was, making him understand that his dad was looking out for him, making him understand that this drug game is not all it cracks out to be. Like they could have done a lot more with his fucking character than just making him a fucking Ghost 2.0, bro.
As I say go, after that, I'm basically
a ghost.
Yeah, a ghost.
Season 1 Tariq is his best season of the universe by far. There's a scene I really like where he admits to Monet that he's ashamed of what he became and he feels like he deserves to die because of all the harm he's done. There's another scene which is actually kind of terrifying where all the ghosts of the people he's wronged come back to haunt him in this dream sequence which represents Tariq's survivor's guilt. The internal conflict in him is actually really compelling to explore, but then, after season 1, he just reverts back to his book 1 self, but less annoying. He's really just there after season 1, does not have any character development. He's just like an NPC in his own show dealing with drug shenanigans or whatever. I don't get why so many people want a Tejada spin-off show. This is the Tejada spin-off show. After season 1, Monet is the protagonist of the show. She is the main character. It's no longer Tariq's story. This is basically the Tejada family show and Tariq's a side character. Anyway.
You're just like your father.
I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
Then there's season 2 and 3. What went wrong? Everything was so perfect in season 1. So first things first, Lorenzo is out of jail. Oh, this is great. What's gonna happen now that their ruthless dad is here? And the answer is nothing. Nobody cares, like, at all. No one's afraid of him anymore for some reason. They kind of treat him like he's nothing most of the times, and I don't get it. It's such a huge contrast from season 1, and it ruins Lorenzo's aura and the hype that was built for him. Mecca is another cool, interesting character introduced in season 2, only for him to be completely wasted. Kane works with him selling drugs, but it's revealed that Mecca was using Kane to get closer to Monet. That whole plot twist when it was revealed that Monet's nephew Zeke is actually her son and Mecca is the father, and Zeke's future basketball career was the family's way out of the drug game was pretty crazy.
That wasn't my dad. Right, auntie?
Jesus Christ, Zeke, what the fuck? That ain't your fucking auntie. That's your mother.
Mo, what the fuck is she talking about?
And it led to Mecca wanting to get to know his son, who Monet kept from him, but Monet doesn't want that, so she kills him. And then Lorenzo kills Mecca out of jealousy, but he actually mistakenly shot Zeke, thinking it was Mecca. Then Monet kills Lorenzo for killing Zeke. Yeah, I think these 2 seasons prove that power shows are not known for writing, but more shock value, entertainment purposes. I'm not kidding. There's a storyline where Method Man's character has a mentally ill sibling who's in jail, and then he's out of jail, and then he kills off Sax, who is pretty much a legacy character at this point, since he's been here since book 1, and then the guy just kills himself. And this storyline has absolutely nothing to do with anything, does not change the story of the season whatsoever. It just happens for no fucking reason, and it sucks too, cause I kinda like Sax. He was probably the best cop character, to be honest, and it's terrible he just gets killed off by some random ass side character that no one really even cares about. By season 3, when everyone finds out Monet killed their dad, is the moment where the Tejada family just stops being a family. Drew and Diana want to kill Monet, Kane wants to kill Drew and Diana. The way they try to kill each other, manipulate each other in season 2 and 3 is crazy. And then after Mecca, a new character who was Mecca's boss is a prestigious international connect, and instead of killing the gang for killing Mecca, she trusts them to sell their drugs. This is a international connect, probably on the same level as Lobos, and she trusts her drug business to some college students who just killed her employee. And then more drug shenanigans happen. Oh, and Tariq is still here too, by the way, but like I said before, he's just there. This is basically the Tejada family show. He's just here to have an expressionless face and kill people and get called a genius. I kind of forgot what he actually does in season 2 and 3, and I just binged this shit. I think he just deals with some murder trial that he beats in like 2 episodes, by the way, and that's really it. I think he's on Wall Street a couple of times to, you know, do stuff. And after all the chaos between them, the Tejadas and Noma decide they like working together and they team up. And then by the end of season 3, everyone just turns on Tariq because this show is just about betrayal and backstabbing.
Thought you got away with it, motherfucker? With what?
Diana saw you, Tariq. You tried to kill our mother.
Dude, what the fuck are they talking about? Tell them what happened.
You almost killed me too.
Anya Covington.
Wait, Kane. Tariq, what did you just say?
Anya Covington. Yes, your daughter. I got people with eyes on her. I promise you, if anything happens to me or my family ever, I'll send them people right after your daughter.
Clever boy. Never without a plan, are you? But perhaps you've flown too close to the sun, love.
Hey, what the fuck, Effie?
I'm so sorry, Tariq.
What the fuck did you do?
I told Noma that you were threatening her daughter. We're working together and I have a future with her, so couldn't let that happen.
This bitch.
Thanks to Effie, I've moved my daughter to safety.
Been wanting to do this for a long time.
But obviously Tariq escapes with the help of his best friend, Brayden, and rides off knowing that they are officially going to be hunted down by the Tejada family. Oh, Tommy makes an appearance in season 3 as well, but it's in a dumb way. He comes back to try again to kill Tasha, but then as soon as he's ready to kill her, Tasha's like, Tommy, we're your family. Let's just end this beef. And Tommy's like, okay, girl.
I've already lost too much family, Tommy. We don't need to kill each other. Let's dead this shit.
Family? What about me? What about Keisha?
You think I wanted to kill my best friend? Like that shit was easy? She was gonna rat on my son, and then she was gonna rat on you. No, I saved your life again.
Fuck. Tasha. Fuck.
Look, I love you, Tommy. I never stopped. Don't ever forget how we've been there for each other. We your day ones. We're the only ones left.
It's your fault. You're the only ones left. What the hell is she talking about? She killed his fiance. She pretty much manipulated Tariq to turn on Ghost. The entire downfall of the St. Patrick family is 80% her fault. Anyone who's watched book 1 knows Tommy would never forgive Tasha after snitching on him. He killed his own dad because he thought he was snitching on him. Like, come on, bro. This is obviously one of those moments that's a writing decision, not a character decision. There's no way you can convince me that Tommy would not kill Tasha after everything she's done. And then there's season 4.
Did for our family.
My dad tried his hardest to keep me away from you. Now look how it turned out.
My Tariq problem gets solved today.
So this is the season with the most controversy because it was announced it will be the last season because Ghost and Force were cancelled due to stars running out of money, I guess. Which isn't surprising that the budget ran out because you have to pay for such a high profile cast. I read somewhere that Mary J. Blige was getting paid $400K an episode, which is insane when she's one of the worst actors on this show. Then you have Method Man, Woody McClain, Michael Ealy, all these big names you have to pay. But yeah, this is the last season, and I have to say, it was really weird. Diana being pregnant with Tariq's child was out of nowhere and had no impact whatsoever because the baby just dies. The whole war between Tariq and Brayden and the Taharas built up from season 2 and 3 only lasts one episode. Also, besides Monet, which was obviously gonna happen, no one else dies. This gigantic ass cast with so many main characters, and they kill off the one that everyone was expecting. Even the whole beef within the Tejada family when Kane finds out that Drew and Diana tried to kill Monet for the death of their dad is resolved in like 2 seconds. Neither Drew or Diana dies, everything is fine, everyone forgives each other. And by the final episode, all the main characters team up to take down this bitch because she had to go. It's kind of funny how all the main characters that just hated each other the whole show just team up like the damn Avengers to take down Noma in the end. Then every character kind of just moves on with their life. Kane leaves the city, Drew leaves the game behind, Diana stays behind and has to take up the role her mom filled as the leader of their drug business, and Tariq and Brayden and Effie team up to start their own business. The only really compelling part about this season was Detective Carter, played by Michael Ealy. I like the idea of a cop knowing that drugs and kingpins and distributors are going to exist, but as long as they kill each other and not innocent people, it doesn't bother him. It was such a good twist, and it was a very different blueprint for a power villain that we haven't seen in a while.
I see keeping that heart rate down. Keeping your breathing nice and slow. Oh, you're a good fucking liar. This is gonna be fun.
May I get back to work, please, sir?
Yeah, this uniform is real cute. You can keep pretending that you're just some college kid, but I know the truth. I know who you fucking are, and I'm gonna put you where you belong.
But for me, that's all I loved. Everything else is just mindless entertainment until the finale. And don't get me wrong, the season and every other season is always entertaining, but the writing just makes no sense in this show. The characters have shallow motivations and are underdeveloped. Other characters' motivations change too quickly and they just do whatever the plot demands of them. The writers just pick and choose when Kane is smart. Effie is just here for some fucking reason. Brayden turns into a junkie simp. 1 minute Drew is a simp. 1 minute he's more savage than Kane. 1 minute Diana's a sweetie pie. 1 minute she's like a female Tariq from book 1. 1 minute Tariq likes Diana. 1 minute he likes Lauren. And then 1 minute he likes Effie. Tariq pretty much alternates girlfriends every episode, by the way, but hey, do your thing, bro. Do your thing, bro. Book 2 feels like a freestyling show at this point, and I don't think I'm saying anything outrageous here when I say that acting is the worst of the entire Power universe. Besides a few people, the acting in Book 2 is pretty bad. And you know what? Since I had to sit through 4 seasons of this shit, I'm gonna be a dickhead. I'm gonna call them out. I'm sure they're good in other shows or whatever, but not in this show. Mary J. Blige is really bad in this show. The scenes where she just has her outburst or she's trying to be imitating and scary is really laughable.
I want to hear you say it to my fucking face. Pendejo. Now we good. Bitch. Past tense? Fuck. Kane!
Who the fuck's riding with you that got the balls to pull a strap on me?
Don't need no balls, bitch. Just a piece of steel in the upper hand.
Wait.
I'ma fucking kill you. You know what? Fuck y'all. I should have never had y'all little stupid motherfuckers.
This character is goofy. All she does is just keep secrets and yell at her family and count on Tariq to solve her problems. That's all she fucking does. There's nothing compelling about her character. And I just realized after watching the show that the reason why Monet is always paired up with Kane most of the time when it comes to those dramatic, heartfelt scenes or whatever is because Woody McClain is carrying the fuck out of those scenes because he kind of has to, so you don't really pay attention to Mary J. Blige's bad acting. And I know Mary J. Blige fans are gonna come at me and be like, she's perfect in this show. It's Mary J. Blige. What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? I don't care. I could fucking care less. Whatever. She's not good in this show. I don't care what you say. The actor who plays Zeke is really bad as well.
Shit! You always talk about having my best interest at heart, but you don't tell me shit to protect myself. This is my life.
Your draft status, you could lose everything.
I ain't had shit to do with whatever happened here.
That's why she giving advice ain't nobody asked her.
Professor Milgram just talked to a bunch of students. She don't know nothing.
Nah, it's cool. I'll figure that out.
Wish you would have stayed away from my auntie like I told you. See my birthday? It's the wrong year. Wrong year.
Same for the actor who plays Effie. And the character Effie is pretty pointless. I know she's on this show to be Tariq and Kane's love interest, but besides that, she's kind of just there. Seriously, like, what is her point on this show besides hooking up with Tariq and Kane? Effie's pretty much like the female version of Dre. Oh, I can't trust anyone besides myself, and I have to go on the winning side and backstab people, and yeah, that's her whole fucking thing.
I told Noma that you were threatening her daughter. We're working together and I have a future with her, so can let that happen.
She's a bitch.
The show also abandoned the whole premise, you need to finish college with a 3.5 in order to access your trust fund. But Tariq actually messed up and lost his inheritance due to drug shenanigans that I don't feel like explaining. So now his only motivation is selling drugs and getting money just because. But yeah, the show is decent. If you're looking for a show that requires you to think very little and relies only upon shock value to keep their audience entertained, think of it as Power, Fast and Furious. If you look at season 1 to the last season, the continuity was not there at all. The initial plot just vanished and we get a bunch of one-season villains who were taken down too easily. And with the main characters all being pretty bland as well, you're not really left with much else with this show. I seriously don't get what they were trying to do with Drew. In the first 2 seasons, I get it. He's the favorite kid and the smart one who is the most level-headed and has the potential to run the family business. But then after season 2, he's kind of just there being angry all the time. Like his whole personality is just to be angry. And the first 2 seasons of development he had kind of went out the window. I'm actually surprised he survived all the way till the end because he would have been the easiest Tejada to kill off because his character's absence would not affect the show at all.
It's fine. It's fine, I get it. I made my choice. Just like you did with your white boy with stripes.
Really? I don't even know what the fuck to say about Monet. Oh wait, I do. She's a really bad drug dealer. She's very impulsive. She's a terrible mom. And not even in a way that's like compelling or you understand Monet's point of view on why she does the things she does. Like, no, she's just a terrible mom for no reason. Zeke is like the only kid Monet actually cares about, and the writers make sure you know that because 90% of Monet's dialogue is mentioning Zeke all the time. She doesn't give a shit about her other kids until the very end, where the writers obviously give her this bullshit redemption arc, sacrificing her life for Kane. And yeah, that's Monet. Fuck this character, bro. Diana is just basically Tasha, bro. Like, that's all I can really say about this character. She's the Tasha to Tariq's ghost. And Zeke was just here to be stupid. There's also the two professors in the beginning of the show that are the weirdest characters I've ever seen in any power show. And it's so hilarious because in the first episode, they're kind of presented as Tariq's new mentors in a way. But after that first episode, they just become the creepiest, disturbing, sex-obsessed characters ever. And I was just waiting by the second for when they were finally killed off so I could celebrate. I guess I should give my opinion on Brayden as well. He's cool, he's funny, his character is pretty much a copycat of Tariq's character. He comes from a rich family and doesn't have to sell drugs, but he wants to because he thinks that's all he's good at. Okay. But he's funny, so it's okay, I guess. I do hope his character comes back in future spin-offs, so yeah. And he's such a good best friend. Like, he's such a ride or die for Tariq, and Tariq kind of treats him like shit most of the time. I think this character is at his best when he's on his side adventures with Kane. Whenever these two characters are on their little adventures and stuff, it's the funniest thing in the entire show.
Why don't you buy yourself something nice? On me. My name's Brayden. I think I'm in love with you already.
My name's Brayden. I'm in love.
There's also Lauren. She's like, you know, the girl from Everybody Hates Chris. And she's fine. She's cool. I don't really have anything to say about her. But she's definitely Tariq's best love interest. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I'm just gonna let that be known right now.
What's up, Rick? What the fuck are you doing here?
Looks like I'm interrupting. Oh well.
Yeah, you actually are.
Now I see what the other night was about. This doesn't look worth it to me.
Oh shit, you big man, huh?
Lauren, I'll catch up, right?
Don't bother.
And yeah, I already mentioned Tariq and how his character is just empty after season 1. There's a scene in season 4 where he tells Brayden, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we weren't drug dealers? I just wish we were regular kids, bro. And this scene would be nice if there was anything leading up to it. This scene just happens out of thin air and goes against everything Tariq's character has stood for up to this point. When did he decide he wants to be a normal kid? That character development isn't shown to us in the slightest. And he doesn't become a normal kid by the end of the show. He goes back to drug dealing. Nothing changed for his character. He's the same guy from book 1 and it drives me crazy. It's also like he got everything handed to him. He needed a team. Here, he has a team of friends who will do everything he says. His family? Oh yeah, Tasha and his other sister are safe, no worries. He needs a connect for the drugs. Oh, no worries, he has an international connect to supply him drugs who just magically trust him. This character does not face any consequences for his actions that could lead to actual character growth. And not to say Michael Rainey Jr. is a horrible actor or anything. I said before that he's decent, at least in book 2, but he doesn't really have that thing, that stuff, that gravitas that shows you, yo, this character right here, he's the main fucking guy, and I'm definitely gonna follow his story throughout the show. He doesn't have that presence like Amari Hardwick, Bettina Miller, Joseph Sikora, or even Makai Curtis to some degree. I guess it's more script than anything else because the writers decided to make Tariq a backup character in his own damn show. I was also at first kind of annoyed that the mystique and legacy of Ghost as the biggest drug dealer in New York City is not mentioned at all in this show. Like, Monet doesn't know who he is. I don't think Lorenzo mentions him. But then I realized it makes perfect sense that no one knows him, or at least knows that he's James St. Patrick, because James was always in the shadows. Only a few people really knew his identity. And the Tejadas are low-level drug dealers compared to what we have seen in the original Power. They barely can even find a connect most of the time. Like, they're amateurs, bro. They barely even mention him after season 1, to be honest. They mention him in every trailer. I don't know if you guys have been catching on to that, but I guess that's obviously for promotion purposes. There's also the classroom debate scenes, which represent the specific theme of that specific episode. I usually skip most of them because they're fucking stupid, but I understand why they're there, because if they weren't, people would just be like, how come Tariq is never in school? A character always starts with a basic woke perspective, then some random white kid is going to disagree, then Lauren, Effie, or Diana. Crazy how they all somehow end up in Tariq's class. Back up this specific character. Then the camera pans over to Tariq, watching them talk with a stoic expression, and out of all of the students in the class, the professor always calls on Tariq so he could give his objective outlook on the question, like he's some fucking philosopher or something.
Just kill or be killed. Same goes for America. Greed is just another word for growth. The bigger you get, the more you have. The more you have, the more you need. It's the law of nature.
Yo, Tariq, shut your ass up, man. He doesn't even know half the things he's saying. It's just the writers trying to sound deep. I know the section of the video was all over the place, but that's just because the show is all over the place.
That I'm basically
a ghost.
Yeah, a ghost.
You guys get it? He's the new ghost. I don't know if you guys get it. You guys got it?
I'm Tariq A. fucking Patrick! I killed my own fucking father.
Yeah, they had to call him Ghost in the end, because if they didn't, the title of the show would be therefore pointless. Ha ha ha. Hee hee hee. I think the show should have just been called The Tejadas guest starring Tariq. That would have been the perfect title for this show. But yeah, let's get back to the good shows now.
Get me started in the business.
The streets don't play, Kanan. That's what I keep trying to tell you. But you don't want to hear me, though.
So Book 3 was actually the show I watched last, because if you don't know, it's a prequel, so it takes place before Book 1, 2, and 4. And to be honest, I was really excited to watch this show because I heard so much praise about it. Raising Kanan is amazing. It's a return to OG power. It's a masterpiece. And I have to say, the whole time I was watching it, I 100% understand the praise. So this is gonna be a smooth sailing. I don't really have anything bad to say about this show right now, so let's calmly talk about what makes it so good. So Raising Kanan, if you haven't guessed yet, is the story of Kanan. You know, the psychopath from the first Power show that dies in season 5. It follows Kanan as a young man, and he and his family's rise in the drug business. Kanan is now a teenager, and his mom, Raquel, is the leader of their family's drug business, with her brothers, Lulu and Marvin, helping her out. Raquel wants to keep her son out of the business and give him a normal life, but Kanan doesn't want that. Now, here's the thing about Raising Kanan that is so much better than all of the other Power shows: the character writing. The character writing and development is easily the best out of every show, including Book 1. It's so interesting to see Kanan's development throughout the series, of him turning into this warped version of himself in the future. A man who is so evil he could kill his own son. I think Makai Curtis is really good as young Kanan. It's actually kind of terrifying. Has the same mannerisms, mimics 50 Cent's voice, which I know some people find annoying, but I don't mind it. Like, if I close my eyes watching young Kanan, I would just think it's 50 Cent talking.
Where the fuck is Famous at? This motherfucker Famous, man. Alright. If you get rolled on, toss this shit. You could go back for the bag. But if you get caught with nothing on you, they gotta cut you loose.
What if we don't have time to toss it? Or what if they see that shit?
How about just don't get caught then, motherfucker? Sound good?
Patina Miller as Rock is fantastic. She's pretty much Monet, but actually done right. I love Rock. She is my favorite female character of the whole universe. A lot of people say she's the female Ghost, and yes, she is badass. She does have insane battle IQ. She can manipulate any situation to her advantage, but I think a lot of people forget how ruthless Rock is compared to Ghost. One parallel I could think of between the both of them is there's a storyline in book 1 season 1 where Ghost suspects that his friend Rolla, someone he kind of raised in the business, he watched him grow up, but he's convinced by Kanan that Rolla is the one messing up his business. Ironically, it was Kanan the whole time, but Ghost trusts Kanan at this point, so he goes over to Rolla's house to kill him. And you can see in his eyes, he's absolutely heartbroken that he has to kill his friend. But on the other hand, with Rock, when she finds out that Scrappy, who she also watched grow up, but she believes he is snitching on her, and she kills him almost immediately without an ounce of remorse. And even when she finds out he didn't actually snitch on her, she sees the situation as just a bump on the road, and we gotta keep it pushing, guys.
Scrap wasn't no snitch. It was his damn mama. Yeah, hitting him like that was a mistake. And I gotta live with that, Lou. I gotta accept that loss, and I gotta move the fuck on.
There's also a scene where Lulu is at his lowest and is breaking down after everything Rock made him do, and he's just falling apart. The cops are kind of going after him to see if he could spill anything on Rock. And there's a moment where you think she's actually going to kill him to protect herself. She picks him up and takes him for a ride, and your mind is racing because you literally can't decide if she's that cruel to kill her own brother. There's another scene when Rock goes to the mom of Kanan's best friend who was just killed and gives her condolences and comfort, and guess what? Rock is the one who got her son killed. She's ruthless, bro. And every season she's going up against someone that's stopping her from getting more power. First season was Rock versus Unique. Second season was Rock versus Sal. Third season was kinda Rock versus Ronnie. She's very much a power-hungry character, and I think the whole point of her character is that her need for power will in the end be her downfall. But yeah, she's a very interesting, complex character. And Marvin and Lulu are also great. Lulu is a guy who has to do whatever Raquel says, whether it's killing kids, killing his friends, and after some time, it takes a toll on him. And it's refreshing because you don't really see the regret, vulnerability, and humility of being in the game in power shows. Marvin is another great character. His relationship with his daughter, Jukebox, is probably my favorite dynamic in Raising Kanan. Marvin doesn't know how to be good, but he wants to try, and we actually see that development with him. Oh yeah, Jukebox is in this show, the psychopath who Kanan kills in book 1. Yeah, she's here and is best friends / cousins with Kanan. We get to see their friendship and how pure it is, which is obviously going to be heartbreaking because the characters are going to turn into the older versions of themselves at some point, and something will happen that will mess up their dynamic. Like, Kanan kills Jukebox to save Tariq's life, and there better be a good reason for that. There better be some traumatic dispute that damages their friendship that Kanan would choose Tariq, of all people, over her. So it's going to be very intriguing to see Jukebox turn into the menace from book 1, but also as a character now, she's still amazing, and she's not like in the drug game at all for the most part in this show. We just see her go through her personal life. With being gay in the 90s as a black woman, we see how that affects her relationship with her dad and mom, and then we also see the little seeds planted on why she turns crazy. It's happening slowly. First the death of her girlfriend, and Marvin finding out she's gay and they have their moment of domestic violence. She finally meets her biological mom, but she gets killed. These events and more to come, no doubt, contributing factors on how cold she turns from Miss Sweetheart to Miss Crazy. And Hailey Kilgore does a fantastic job of portraying this character. But yeah, these characters are really, really good written characters. As for the story of book 3, it's pretty much the same formula as every other power show wanting to take someone's territory, dealing with shady cops. It's the same shit, but everything is pretty solid. Because the show is so full of character development, everything I just said are kind of the main points of the first 3 seasons, but there's other stuff I love too. The main things I love for each season is with season 1, The battle between Rock versus Unique on who is going to take over the drug game in Southside Queens is one of the most exciting feud in all of Power. I love these two, the tension, the chemistry, the back and forth.
Came after my son last night. Where we stay at.
And we're gonna keep coming, bro.
You must really want to die, Nick.
I miss the hell out of you, girl.
You ever catch feelings for me, Rock?
This nigga talking crazy.
I love Rock against her own wishes, introducing an eager Kanan into the drug world. Book 3 is mainly Kanan versus his mom. It's kind of like the Ghost versus Tariq relationship. The parent is in the game, and the kid wants to be in it, but the parent doesn't want them to be. Tariq and young Kanan are pretty similar characters in that sense. The difference is because Tariq had multiple options besides the game, he came from a very wealthy family and is pretty bright for his age. The odds were in his favor and he still chose the drug business. Kanan is a poor kid who grew up in the hood, but he already knew his family was in the game and he thinks it's like his destiny. He feels like it's in his blood to take over from his mom. And it's real easier to sympathize with Kanan because his distrust for his mom is legit. His mom lied to him about his real dad, kills his real dad, killed his best friend. Like, their relationship is more complicated than the more black and white complex of Ghost and Tariq.
They weren't trying to hit me.
But what if they did? And you were gone? What happens to me? At your back? That's what I did. Man, that's who I am.
No, I tell you who you are, Kanan, not the other way around. I am your mother.
I love Jukebox in season 1. I didn't really care about her character in book 1, but holy shit, in this show, she's perfect.
Because you ain't nothing but a violation, Marvin. White girl got what she deserves. Well, better for her not being in it no more.
With season 2, Kanan finds out about his real dad and he's trying to build a connection with him, even with the complicated history between his dad and his mom. I mean, like, his mom manipulated him to kill his dad without him knowing who he was at the end of season 1. So yeah, it's a big, it's a big family drama right there. The storyline with Jukebox meeting her religious mom had me feel horrible for Jukebox. The convergent therapy scene where they're trying to not make her gay anymore is crazy. Marvin's character development this season made him a fan favorite for me. It's so funny seeing him in these anger management classes.
My reaction is to put a foot up their ass. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. I won't lie. Shit works for me. Makes my teeth white.
That's called open aggression.
Me or the nigga talking shit.
You.
Then that's me then. Open and aggressive.
When you feel unregulated like that, one of the techniques we talk about to regain control of yourself and the situation is breathing.
You think I'm scared of you, nigga? I got shot 7 times and I'm still putting fools on their back. Be the next nigga.
And he has a really good redemption arc this season, being a good dad and rebuilding his relationship with Jukebox. The all-out war between Sal and Unique versus Rock was crazy. I was so scared one of our main characters were gonna die, considering the amount of stakes in this season.
I'm a big believer in balance and karma, Rock. The universe has laws and they need to be respected. I could be asking you to give up your own son. That'd be real balance. But I have a heart and he's just a kid. So I'm telling you, your brother has to go, which is fair and just and about as close to balance as we're gonna get. Is it because you're this woman in a man's business that you gotta be so tough and mean all the time? Always trying to prove yourself to the men around you? I suffered an unspeakable loss because of your brother, and I offer you a reasonable compromise, but you just spit it back in my face.
My sympathies to your family.
And mine to yours.
And even Rock almost died, but Unique saves her in the end, and that births the newfound friendship and respect between Rock and Unique, putting an end to their rivalry. And with season 3, let's get one thing straight. This guy is terrifying. Ronnie is the scariest villain out of all the Power villains. Every scene he's in, you feel so anxious for the character talking to him because you don't know if Ronnie's going to kill that character.
Rock took all we had and left you with this bullshit.
And you smiling because you got your head stuck between her legs.
He killed Unique, well, he thought he did at least, who's his own brother. I liked Kanan doing his own thing, doing his own drug business, and it's the season where he actually feels more and more like his OG self.
You let Rock in this crib again, I'm fucking you up, nigga. You hear me?
Also, obviously, Jukebox is doing her thing. As always, look at her with her little girl group or whatever. Now, season 3, while good, is definitely the weakest out of the first 3 seasons. One of the issues I had with the season was the back and forth feud between Rock and Kanan. It's pretty tired at this point because every season, Kanan just whines about his mommy. To be honest, for a show that's called Raising Kanan, Kanan's probably the least interesting character to me. He's interesting, but he's like, compared to these other characters, he's just kind of like there. Like, he's like a side character. Every season, he just complains about Rock, and that's it. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I like all 3 seasons. Raising Kanan is the best spinoff to me, hands down, in terms of writing, character development, acting, story, realism. The emotions feel real. It's not a fucking soap opera like this shit. The quality is great. The cinematography and the 90s vibe is pretty good. And that's another thing. Power shows usually don't look amazing. It all looks pretty bland and dry, but Raising Kanan actually makes an effort because it's set in the 90s. It has to make sure the aesthetics are given 90s vibe. The list could go on and on. Force and Ghost don't even hold a candle to this show. The show also has a big aspect of music in it. Half of the main characters' storylines are involved with music. Jukebox wants to be a singer. Lulu wants to be a music producer. Famous wants to be a rapper. You get it. And the songs in the show are fine, I guess. Raising Kanan, unlike the other shows, is more of a character-driven story, but unfortunately, the next season kinda ignores all that and seems to favor spectacle more than storytelling. Now let's talk about the season I don't love. What did they do to my boy?
But do you realize they mean everything?
Alright, so here is the big change. So if you guys have been listening, Raising Kanan is very different from the other Power shows. It tries to have a genuine story that isn't too convoluted or over the top and flashy. The conflicts between the protagonists and villains feel very natural. The characters are very easy to get attached to. The dynamics between characters are amazing, but like I said before, Season 4 seems to have a bit too much spectacle. It's not like book 2 level spectacle, but you could still feel the change of tone in the show. Where do I start? Season 4 of Raising Kanan has 2 major storylines. Storyline number 1 is the return of Unique. He's not dead. He actually survived Ronnie's attack in Season 3, and he's back and wants payback. Storyline number 2 is the death of the character Famous. Famous is a fan favorite and is Kanan's best friend on the show, and he dies, and the majority of the season is the mystery on who killed him. So those are the 2 main plot points of Season 4, and I don't like either of them. So I guess I'll just talk about Unique first. So the thing with Unique is that he's one of the most popular characters in the universe, and there's a reason for that. Joey Badass, who plays Unique, yes, his stage name is Joey Badass, I'm not making that up. He gives the character so much charisma and allure that it's impossible not to love this character. He's smooth, he's funny, he carries himself with so much swagger. He's the perfect representation of a dope boy ripped out of the 90s. I didn't even care that he was the villain in Season 1. I still loved him.
Rock on fall. No supply. Losing corners. Soldiers looking for other crew.
My shit getting soggy. You mind if I get into it?
By all means, brother. Eat.
Now, the thing with Season 4 is that it takes everything I just said and throws it in the garbage. So Unique actually survived Ronnie's attack, but because he got absolutely wrecked by Ronnie and his brain got fucked up, now he's basically crazy. And he wants revenge against Rock because he thinks that Rock had something to do with him dying since she took over his territory once he died. But in reality, she didn't have anything to do with it. She actually cared about Unique, and she was very hurt when she learned he died. And Ronnie's dead, so his revenge is pointed at Rock. So with all the brain damage and misunderstanding of the situation, Unique is not unique this season. He's basically Ronnie 2.0. All he does is just walk around like a zombie, and just stare at people from a distance. He kills random innocent people in Rock's life for no reason. He has these childish outbursts in every scene he's in, and I don't like it. It's so lame. They ruined what made him so great as a character. It's even more tiring how we all know Rock didn't have anything to do with his death, but every scene he's just complaining and bitching about Rock, and he can't think straight, and it's so lame and annoying. They made him such a dumb hybrid of Ronnie and Unique, and I don't love it. And to be honest, I feel like his character should have just stayed killed off in season 3. It was honestly a good send-off. You kill off a major fan favorite to let the villain look more scary, and there's more of an emotional impact with the rest of the characters who knew Unique. I'm actually surprised he didn't die this season, because he was just crashing out the whole time.
And I bet you didn't even know I was tapping that ass. She even called me daddy.
But yeah, Unique is crazy now, and I'm almost certain his character is gonna die in the next season because he's just useless now. Seasons 1 to 3 Unique was the realist gangster, all about his business, solid, charismatic, and had some honor to a degree regarding his Southside community. Now he's just a Southside bully, hypnotized by his hatred for Rock. And it sucks. Alright, let's talk about the Puerto Rican now. Famous! So this is a really weird situation because they actually killed Famous off screen, which is very rare for a show to kill off a fan favorite character like that. The actor who plays Famous said in interviews that his character was always meant to die, so I'll just take a guess that he wasn't available to shoot the character's death scene for whatever reason. But yeah, Famous is dead, and the whole season, pretty much the marketing for the season, is who killed Famous. It's this whole big thing. Some people thought it was gonna be Rock, some people thought it was Unique, some people thought it was Jukebox, some people even thought it was Marvin for a while, including me. And there's a lot of suspense and hype, and it turned out the entire time, it was these two. Yeah, they killed him because they were scared Famous was gonna talk to the cops about their business with Kanan. And yeah. Now here's the thing, it is kind of realistic that it was characters that don't have any emotional connection to Famous that killed him. It would make no sense for Jukebox or Kanan to kill him, but at the same time, the season built so much hype on who killed Famous that it's kind of underwhelming that it's just these two Bonnie and Clyde motherfuckers. Maybe that's just me because I don't give a shit about these two characters whatsoever. I could really care less about them. And the fact they never even interacted with Famous once adds no emotional stakes to this plot twist whatsoever. So it makes the reveal feel like nothing. Oh, they killed Famous. Okay. And I just moved on to the next scene. It has no impact whatsoever on me. And no one even finds out they killed Famous. This entire fucking season revolves around this character's death, and no one finds out anything. I kinda thought Marvin was gonna kill him as an order from Rock because she was afraid Famous was gonna talk to the cops, and then Kanan was going to kill Marvin, and that's what leads to the turmoil relationship between Kanan and Jukebox. But maybe that was a little too far-fetched, to be honest, so yeah, maybe I was overthinking that. There are a bunch of other storylines I have a problem with in this season. I don't really like what they're doing with Lulu. I am not kidding. He spent the entire first 3 seasons of the show crying that he wants out of the game and he wants to be a better person. But now he actually realized that he actually loves the drug game. Even more stupid, I don't understand how Rock just easily lets him back into the business after everything that happened. With the amount of times he's almost ruined her business because of his meltdowns. This is also Marvin's worst season, probably. He doesn't really do anything. I was kind of surprised he didn't die, but I did like that they're carrying the plotline of him looking over the little girl of his friend's daughter who he met through the anger management classes. It's so sweet. And I do also love the plotline of Rock, Marvin, and Lulu making peace with their toxic mom. It's very much the emotional heartbeat of the season, and no surprise to anyone, I love Jukebox's season. It's a season where she's turning into the book 1 version of herself.
The fuck is going on?
No.
Y'all niggas thought you was gonna play me? Motherfucker, I will kill your bitch ass son right here, right now.
For real. Word is bond.
Well, your word don't count for shit. This nigga's about to cry.
home? We coming for you.
Oh my god, Haley Kilgore is amazing, bro. So yeah, I do like some stuff. This season isn't horrible, but it's the worst season of Raising Kanan for me. The pacing is off. The whole season feels like a filler fest. Most of the conflicts are not even resolved. It's just a setup season for season 5. The finale. Oh golly. The finale is just a copy and paste of the book 1 series finale. Everyone just turns on the protagonist of the show. And yes, Rock is just as much the protagonist of the show as much as Kanan. And everyone hates her, even though she really didn't even do anything wrong this season. And then the kid points a gun at the parent and gives a stupid ass monologue and pulls the trigger. I'm pretty sure Rock's not dead though, since the camera just cuts to black once Kanan pulls the trigger. But yeah, the finale was pretty bad, and Kanan, oh golly. I kinda don't like Kanan anymore. He's just so dumb and gullible and can very easily be manipulated against his mom by anyone. I'm not gonna say their dynamic is worse than the Tariq and Ghost dynamic, because this shit was just completely stupid.
And get this, I asked the contractor if we had enough space on the lot for a basketball court. He said yes, so I'm naming the basketball court after you.
You have my tuition check?
And because Kanan, while not this season, but if we're counting previous seasons, he does have valid reasons to have distrust for his mom. His mom kills his dad, kills his best friend. Even if she did that to protect Kanan, it's still fucked up. And because this season he's manipulated to think that Rock killed Famous and his girlfriend, I can understand why he pulls a gun on her out of anger. Yes, it is tiring hearing every single piece of dialogue coming out of Kanan's mouth, being him being mad at mommy, but I'm still not going to say Kanan's worse than Book 1 Tariq. I'm not going to go there just yet. But it's actually funny because now I realize why Kanan likes Tariq so much in Book 1 is because they're the same exact person. And what is this obsession with having the kids kill their parents all the time? Book 1, Tariq kills Ghost. Book 2, Drew and Diana want to kill Monet. Book 4, Victor kills his dad, whatever his name was, I forgot it. And then in Book 3, Kanan wants to kill Rock. Every show, it's the same thing, bro. How much you guys want to bet Jukebox wants to kill Marvin next season? Like, seriously. The finale also gave us the long-awaited arrival of the character Breeze. Oh wait, you guys need a little context. So Breeze was Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy's mentor when they were young. He taught them everything they know, and Ghost had to kill Breeze in order to move up in the drug business. But it was someone Ghost actually loved as a friend. He did not find pleasure in killing Breeze at all. And the character is mentioned a lot in Book 1, but he's never actually shown to us in any way. And once Raising Kanan was announced, the entire Power fanbase suspected that Breeze would be introduced in Raising Kanan. It was a very popular fan theory that pretty much became a meme. Unique was actually the poster boy to be Breeze for the fans, which I could see only because Unique was a dope-ass character, so I could see why people wanted him to be Breeze. But it turned out Breeze is actually Shameik Moore.
It's easier to be Miles flirting with Gwen when I'm looking at Haley.
When you're looking at her, right.
In all seriousness, Shameik Moore is a good actor, and I can't wait to see his portrayal of the character in season 5. I wonder what his character is actually going to be like, because in Book 1, they say Breeze was strong, but not very smart. But then, as soon as he's introduced, they immediately say he's a scholar and book smart like Ghost. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. I do wonder how long Breeze will actually be around for though. I'm assuming he'll be in the next season a lot and he's gonna help Kanan build his empire or whatever. But is Shameik Moore gonna commit to Power Origins like that? I'm assuming the show will be like 3 or 4 seasons. So is Breeze gonna be there the whole time, every episode? Or is Ghost just gonna kill him in the first season or something? Can you imagine all that hype and suspense for this character and he just gets killed off in the first season of Power Origins? I'm gonna laugh my ass off if that happens. Oh, and some people are saying this is young Ghost, the kid who finds Famous's body, and Power fans are horrendously known for their crazy ass fan theories. Some people said that Breeze was Ghost's dad. Someone said that Effie was secretly a Fed the whole time. Someone said that Ghost and Lorenzo are related. Some people are actually saying that the little girl that Marvin takes care of is actually Holly from Book 1. Y'all need to stop, bro. But if all these fan theories end up becoming true, I doubt they will, but if they do, I'll take all the hate. You can make fun of me all you want. But this fan theory kind of makes sense. I think Angela said that her dad used to chase ghosts out of the bodega when he would steal alcohol. I think Ghost said that when he saw his first dead body, he threw up. Don't quote me on all this. I'm probably wrong, but who knows? Maybe this is the young ghost we've all been waiting for. Or it's just some random kid. But yeah, that's season 4, a filler season with bad writing, worst season of Raising Kanan for me, and I hope all the freaking setup this season did leads to a banger final season in season 5.
Fuck you gonna say? What?
So yeah, I guess because the first 3 seasons are so keen on character development by far more than any other Power show, it's not even a debate. It's just a weird change in season 4 when they're doing all this extra shit. You know what I mean? Like, why is there a murder mystery going on right now? The first 3 seasons, it may seem like a boring show, maybe because of the way I'm describing it. You know, it's hard to describe shows I really love for some reason. Plus, there's no shootings or explosions happening every 5 seconds like the other shows. But trust me, Raising Kanan season 1 to 3 is completely worth the watch. It's the best written show character-wise by fucking far, and you will have the time of your life watching it. Quick time out. You guys remember when I mentioned the show Forever earlier in the video? Yeah, so I just realized while editing that Lovey Simone, who plays Keisha in Forever, is in Raising Kanan season 1 as a love interest for Kanan, and that completely blew my mind. So this has nothing to do with anything, but it's just a fun fact for myself, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Season 2, hurry your ass up. Alright, so we talked about a good show. Then we talked about a bad show. Then we went back to a good show. And now we're gonna go back to a bad show.
And just bounce with your paper and drugs?
Welcome to Chicago, Tommy.
Tommy is back. Yay, Tommy. So after the events of book 1, he winds up taking a detour to Chicago, where he ends up settling. This is also where he finds out that he has a half-black brother named JP. After the deaths of Ghost and his fiance, Tommy needed this news because outside of them, he only had himself to rely on. And you guessed it, he wants to build his own drug franchise. The Chicago players, the Finn family, and CBI, on the other hand, don't take too kindly to Tommy's newfound presence in their city. Yet he does what he can to find new associates, learn the lay of the land, and then naturally, in turn, make new enemies. Oh, a character from book 1, Liliana, returns as well. When she heard about a white man in a Mustang stirring up trouble, she presumed Tommy came to finish the job when her and Tommy had beef back in book 1, but the two eventually play nice and she becomes his right-hand man in the takeover. And their dynamic was pretty cute, pretty much carries season 1. Tommy, in order to make his mark, sees this as a perfect time to introduce a new designer drug, Dahlia, to the streets with his new associate, Claudia Finn, who gets shut out of her father's business and decides to take matters into her own hands.
Just take my word for it. Best high I ever had.
That's a big claim.
No cap. Best. No harsh crash, no cotton mouth, no aftershocks at all. It had a trippy ass vibe, but not like MDMA. Warmer. Like mushrooms. With the kick of nice clean coke.
You make me want to drive my face right into this.
No, not yet.
It's basically this magical drug. Once you take it, you will be the highest you've ever been in your life. And everyone is just jealous of Tommy because of the new drug he got. And he's becoming a little too popular in the streets of Chicago. By the time the finale rolls around, everyone wants him dead. And in turn, the new friends and family Tommy has made are at risk as well. While all is not lost at the end of season 1, it's Liliana who ends up dying. Then with season 2, haunted and enraged by the murder of his business partner, Tommy vows to avenge her death, and he begins plotting against the Flynn family. However, as Tommy has learned, Chicago is not New York. Beyond the issues he's having, the suburban and Mexican cartels are approaching on the territory Tommy wants, and Tommy has to figure out a way to stop him. I don't know if you could tell, but I don't care about book 4. The dialogue and acting are bad. The pacing is so fucking slow, it takes forever to get to the fucking point. The characters are pretty hit or miss. The villains are awful. I think Tommy works better as not the main character, if that makes any sense. At the core of Tommy's character, he's just a loyal cokehead who likes to sell drugs and kill people. His character isn't fleshed out enough to carry a show and any meaningful development that we could have just found out about his character in book 1. What is Tommy's story besides him wanting to kill and sell drugs forever? Is he going to change, experience some guilt, go to prison? What is there left to tell about Tommy that didn't happen in the 6 seasons of book 1? Joseph Sikora elevated the role by bringing a lot of charisma to it, which is why people like his character so much. But the character itself feels like it was written to be more one-dimensional, but in a good way. I think Tommy's one of the few characters I could think of that works more as the one-trick pony. You know, he serves as the crazy sidekick to our main hero, and it works perfectly like that. And now, you know, they're just making him this stoic action hero guy and whatever. He's just so bland in this show. And the whole plot about Force doesn't really give you suspense since we already seen Tommy take over drug businesses before. Tommy's faced kingpins, the FBI, assassins, the mafia, the cartel, the freaking Avengers. He's gone through everything you could possibly think of. Like, there's no suspense. Tommy ain't scared of this guy. Out of all the spin-offs, Force feels the less unique. Book 2 focuses on young hustlers who are managing both school and the drug business. Book 3 is a period piece, and Book 4 primarily focuses on middle-aged hustlers, just like OG Power. It's just a copycat of Book 1, but worse. Like, the characters of Force aren't really all that. They're pretty much the same shit we see in every other Power show. Here are the villains with daddy issues. Tommy's partner, who is just the Walmart version of Ghost, he's basically the Tariq of the show. Tommy's typical love interest that he falls in love with after barely knowing her.
Tommy, you motherfucker. You fucking with Lil Maria Garcia?
Then we have the cops who never know how to do their job because the writers make cop characters the stupidest, incompetent people to ever walk the planet. This is for every show, by the way, not just book 4. Every cop character in the Power universe are the dumbest people. It makes you wonder how they were even qualified to be cops in the first place. Season 2 is better, mostly because of the change in showrunner. The feud between Miguel and Tommy, while not great, is sort of compelling. The introduction of Tommy's new love interest, Maria, Miguel's sister, was also good. She's a pretty cool character. The Flynn family are also better. The eternal beef between the family is surprisingly actually more emotional. Diamond's friendship with this kid was also very well done and pretty heartbreaking, not gonna lie, seeing the way it ends. But yeah, season 2 is better, and I'm actually intrigued to see what happens in season 3 with these characters. But I don't know, at this point, I'm okay with it having one last final season in season 3, and I hope it goes out with a bang.
But you're never gonna see me there again.
Where the fuck is she, Miguel?
Alright, well those are my quick little recap / opinions of the show. There's also a bunch of other characters I haven't mentioned, so I guess I'll do a quick 1, 2, 3 on them. Love him, like him only cause it's Han from Fast and Furious, like him. Don't care, don't care. Love him, don't care, don't care. Love and hate her. Didn't like at first, but ended up loving. Don't care. I don't remember what he does. Whatever. Badass, but gets nerfed. Don't care. Cringe. Don't care. Don't care. I can't believe bro got killed off by his own dad. Like her. Don't like her. I'ma stop it right there. If I had to rank the shows from least to favorite, I guess it would be Force, then Ghost, then Raising Kanan, and OG Power are pretty interchangeable for me. Book 2 2 is mainly a show that was just made for the younger generation of Power fans. Since I fall into that category, that's probably why I favor it over Force a little bit. And like I said before, I will stand on Book 2 Season 1 being a really good season. It's the most grounded, the characters are 100% at their best, it has the best storytelling, and I think it probably cracks top 5 for me in seasons out of all the Power shows. And while Book 4 Season 2 is alright, I still can't forgive how boring Season 1 is. It is a snooze fest for me. Like, at least Book 2 after Season 1 is entertaining. It doesn't make any sense, but it's entertaining, so I'm putting it in 3rd place. But I think most people will agree that out of all the shows, it's either OG Power or Raising Kanan that takes the lead. I think the reason I might favor Raising Kanan a little more is because besides Season 4, all of the seasons have mostly been good, while Book 1 kind of peaked at its 2nd or 3rd season, with the remaining 3 being mid or outright bad. After Season 4, Book 1 just kind of becomes a weird-ass parody of itself, and I genuinely cannot believe the Season 6 script even made it out the writer's room. I guess I'll just have to see how Raising Kanan ends with its 5th season to give a more appropriate answer, but whatever, this is my ranking for now. And if you want to know my rankings on the seasons, it's pretty simple. The Power shows sort of follow the same blueprint the CW shows had, even the Netflix shows. The first 1 or 2 seasons are usually great, then it adds unnecessary drama, characters recycle the same arcs over and over again, everything is just too convoluted, and it all goes downhill. The first 2 seasons of Book 1 are great, and Season 2 is actually my favorite season of the whole universe. Then it's 3, then 4, then 5, and obviously 6 is at last place. Every time, it just gets a little worse. Same for Book 2. Season 1 is the best season, then it's 2, 3, and then 4. Everything gets worse every time. Same for Raising Kanan. Season 1 and 2 are the best, then it's 3, then 4. The quality just dips little by little until it becomes a parody of itself. Force is an exception because I like Season 2 way more than Season 1. I almost fell asleep twice watching that season. You could literally skip Season 1 and just watch the recap in the beginning of Season 2 and you will be perfectly fine.
Hey, Jagoff, move your car! What the fuck is with this city and parking? Hey, keep moving! We don't want to ask you again. Move your fucking car.
Man, I never thought I'd see the day that Shane from Good Luck Charlie became a drug dealer. Huh. You know what? Since I'm doing all these rankings, fuck it. My top 5 characters real quick. Let's go. Number 5, Kane/Unique. They're both gonna be my number 5 because I can't decide who I like more. Although both characters are very inconsistent in terms of writing and get ruined later on in their own respective shows, whatever. Woody McClane and Joey Badass are awesome in their roles, and they are both the definition of an actor being so charismatic that you love them regardless of how badly written their characters are. Number 4, Jukebox, one of the only characters in the universe that actually has amazing character development, and I am not over-exaggerating when I say that. Number 3, Rock, best female character in the entire universe, enough said. Number 2, Tommy. Although I don't love where his character is going, I don't care. He's the most entertaining character in the whole universe. One of the best aspects of Book 1, and Joseph Sikora is amazing in the role. Number 1, Tariq. I'm just joking. Number 1, the GOAT and almost everybody's favorite character. And not to be rude, but I don't care what 50 Cent says. Amari Hardwick is the Power universe. You can make all these spin-offs, it doesn't matter. Whenever someone thinks of Power, they will immediately think of the character Ghost. Boom, top 5. Okay, now that we're all done with that, I kind of want to give some of my thoughts on the Power universe overall. The Power universe is entertaining and it does have some seasons that have really good writing, but overall it kind of falls flat if you compare it to other shows in its genre, like the Breaking Bad, The Wire, The Sopranos of the world. And I think I have 3 good reasons on why. Are you guys ready for reason number 1? Okay, here we go. Number 1, bad villains. Alright, so I'm under the opinion that the villains of power shows are very lackluster, mostly just after book 1. Kanan, while it's just 50 Cent playing himself, was a good villain and you understood his motivations. Kanan was Ghost and Tommy's mentor, he's the reason they became the man they are today, but Ghost betrayed him and set him up to be in jail. So I understand why he wants to ruin Ghost's life, and the fact that Kanan is literally so fucking hardcore and insane makes him even more entertaining. He will not hesitate to kill innocent people. Cops, kids, even his own fucking son. He does not care. He's unhinged, and it makes you fear for Ghost because you know he's dealing with someone who's too unpredictable. But yeah, Kanan was a cool villain. His motivations make sense, and you fear for our protagonist. Lobos is the kingpin and Ghost and Tommy's boss, and he's a good villain as well. I am always up for his flamboyish, over-the-top personality any day. And the fact that he's kind of the main threat of the show because it takes like 3 seasons to actually kill him is insane. Milan was a good twist, going from Ghost's top security, hanging in the background, waiting for the right time to strike. Milan forces Ghost and Tommy back in the drug game in season 3 when Ghost thought he was officially out, and says that he will harm both Ghost's family and Angela if he does not do what he says. He was so cool, and the fact that he's probably one of the only villains to really outsmart and be one step ahead of Ghost constantly was crazy.
I don't have to explain myself to you, first of all.
You finally killed Lobos.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Wrong, who are you and do I know? Yes, I do. Jamie St. Patrick. Luke. Ghost.
He gets killed off pretty quickly because really he was just a plot device for Ghost and Tommy to start working with each other again, but whatever, he was good while he was here. Actually, the fact that he did the one thing I thought was impossible in making Ghost actually break up and stay away from Angela to keep her safe was just unbelievable. These two are weirdly obsessed with each other constantly, so like, sir, you did the impossible, you deserve an applause. And he was a cannibal, so that adds to his creepiness. Now, to get to my actual point, the villains after book 1 don't really have that same impact. Book 2 has some villains that have potential, but in the end fall very flat. I am not joking, Lorenzo in season 1 is hyped up to be like on the same level as Ghost and Tommy. But then as soon as he gets out of jail, he does absolutely fucking nothing. He just gets bitched around by his family.
Don't you ever put your hands on my wife again.
That's even more stupid and pathetic than I thought.
Get the fuck off me, man.
All this time you thinking I'm not ready for the fucking throne? But you weren't ready for me. And now that I know the truth, I fucking own you! So, this normal weight we talked about earlier, you're gonna move it. See you at the house.
What a wasted character. Same thing with Mecha, he comes in as the menacing martial arts drug dealer and he's gonna take shit over. I didn't like how they built Mecha up to be this big bad drug dealer who was so smart and calculated, only to be outsmarted by Tariq of all fucking people. And how can these villains be in the drug game for 20 plus years and all of a sudden get outsmarted by a teenager? There were some interesting things that they could have expanded on, like his relationship with Zeke, or the fact that he was apparently this global snitch that went around the world snitching on drug dealers for the cops.
Now, the highest bidder at that time was a man named Lobos. Yeah. You see, I sold him to the feds for my freedom, Tariq. And he never found out it was me, because someone was gracious enough to kill that motherfucker before he had a chance to do that. So do me a favor, man. When you see your father in hell, you tell him Dante said good looking out.
But that doesn't happen. He's just a simp for Monet, and then just dies at the end of the same season he's introduced. He was kind of like a Mission Impossible villain, but because he's in this corny ass show, he gets taken down by a stupid plot. I'm not even gonna talk about Noma because she is so empty and her character is so stupid. How are you this big, professional, smart kingpin and trust a couple of teenagers to sell your drugs? Like, what the hell? She's just there. She doesn't have a point. Her dialogue is pointless. She has this weird ass relationship with Kane, and it's just weird. This character is fucking weird. None of the villains in book 2 are really good, and if they are good for a while, they just get the biggest nerf ever. Don't even get me started on the book 4 villains. The Flynn family are just the Tejada family in fucking Chicago and useless. She's useless and stupid. He's just obsessed with his girlfriend all the time. And he just has annoying outbursts in every scene he's in. They are all fucking lame. Even with the likes of Miguel, who is kind of menacing, Tommy's pretty much experienced every kind of imitating villain. So him sizing up against Miguel is just like, bro, you know Tommy's gonna beat this guy, bro. Like, he's not scared of bro. As for raising Kanan, Unique is a good villain, exception of season 4. For when he is a villain, most of the time he's just playing anti-hero and lover boy with Rocky. But Ronnie, who is probably the scariest villain in the entire universe, while really good, dies in the first season he's introduced. Matter of fact, I think most power villains die the first season they're introduced. Maybe that's why they're not fleshed out enough. Even if you want to put the cops of each show as villains, they're all stupid. They all suck at their job. I feel like every single cop or prosecutor are literally only good at getting witnesses killed, and that's it. Blanca was happy to take false confessions. Sax just blackmails anyone with a pulse and manipulates evidence constantly that always blows back in his face. Angela was banging the main suspect in their case for years. Jenny faked a girl's death just to try to get a lead on Tariq. And guess what? She still couldn't get anything on Tariq. After countless seasons of power, none of the cops can actually say they've done anything really to stop our protagonist. And the thing with Kanan, Unique, Milan, Detective Carter, etc. is while they're good, they're not really amazing villains if we're being honest. They're amazing by power show standards, but I could 100% say none of them are up there as one of the greatest drug crime villains in history, and I don't even have to watch all the drug shows in the world to know that. They're nowhere near that level. Can you imagine inserting Gus Fring into a power show? That would be like trying to start GTA 6 with a fucking PS4. Anyway, as you could tell, most power villains are not all that, and 100% do not hold a candle to the likes of other villains in their same genre. Number 2, lack of realism. I don't know if I'm shocking anyone with this opinion, but I do think it's something that deserves to be mentioned. The power shows are basically GTA 5 missions. All the characters have the most insane plot armor in the world. And I know it's a TV show, I get it, I know that. But some of the shit that the writers try to convince us into thinking this would happen in real life is crazy.
The series itself has been 5 months.
Yeah.
Audience's experience of this time is that it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
That's not accurate to what is taking place within the narrative, but we just have to kind of live with it. We're 5 years later.
Yeah.
For the actors,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that the ages of the
Are you actually telling me this entire show's timeline is 6 months? That is insane. Is Tariq not 13 or something in season 1 and is going to college at the end of season 6? Tariq was 13 at the start of Power. He had his 16-year-old birthday in season 5, and then he had his 18-year-old birthday in season 1 in his spin-off show, which takes place right after book 1, season 6. Make it make sense. I'm not gonna look into it and rewatch the show and look for all the timeline inconsistencies, cause I ain't got time for all that, but I'm 100% certain that there are scenes that shows it has been at the very least 4 to 5 years, if not more than that. Yaz is literally a baby in season 1. You know what? You're the showrunner, you're the boss, whatever you say goes. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So you're telling me Tasha kills a woman in her home, leaves fingerprints everywhere on the scene, and these fucking cops still can't figure out who killed her. You're telling me that Tariq kills a FBI agent in the parking lot of his fucking school with, I'm assuming, security cameras everywhere, but no one could tie him to the death of the cop. You're telling me that Tommy comes to Chicago and immediately takes over the drug game in a place and environment he knows absolutely nothing about. You're telling me an international drug connect trusts a bunch of kids to sell her drugs. You're telling me that Tommy, of all people, would just forgive Tasha and let her live after she killed his fiance, blamed the death of Ghost on him, and snitched on him to get out of jail. You're telling me that Tommy fakes his death but doesn't get arrested at all? I understand he was in Chicago now and the police in New York didn't believe that Tommy was alive. Just send the police in New York footage of Tommy walking through Chicago that shows he's alive, and then you could arrest him for faking his death. What the hell? Because you have to remember, in book 2, season 1, where Tasha snitches on Tommy to get out of jail, Tommy is being hunted because they're just blaming everything on him. But then he faked his death, so now the case gets thrown out the window. But if he was alive this whole time, then you could go after him again. You're fucking telling me that Kanan gets stabbed, locked in a room while burning alive, but somehow he just fucking breaks out of there like the damn Hulk. But nothing. Pisses me off with the realism of these shows more than the Zeke Age storyline. I need to go off for a second. So in book 2, season 2, there was this whole big plot twist that Zeke, who is like cousin of the Tejada family, and they kind of took him in. And there was this whole big plot twist that he is actually Monet's son. And, you know, he was Mecca's son and stuff, and she wanted to keep that a secret from Lorenzo. So she lied to everyone, and she actually faked a birth certificate or something that showed that his age was 19 years old, but he was actually 23 years old. And this is like so fucking weird to me because Zeke thought he was 19, but he's actually 23 years old. So when he was 3 years old, allegedly, you're telling me he looked like a 7-year-old and nobody noticed? When he was in middle school, in 6th grade or whatever, you're telling me he actually looked like a person who was in high school? When he was a high school freshman, you're telling me he looked like an actual high school senior and nobody questioned it whatsoever? It's crazy when you think about it, because if Zeke started having sex in high school, he was actually a grown-ass man dating minors. Holy shit, arrest this motherfucker. I will understand if it was a few months or like a year changed with his age, but they made it 4 fucking years. The scene where it's revealed is probably the most popular scene of book 2. It's funny because I think the scene was the first ever clip I've seen of book 2 from like TikTok or something, so I have history with this scene, my friends. I've seen people online say that this scene is a masterpiece and it's such a wonderful, prestigious scene of television and it deserves all the awards in the world, and no, it's not. This scene is fucking stupid. The dialogue is fucking stupid. The acting is fucking stupid. There's nothing prestigious about this fucking scene. Like, how the fuck does he not know he's 4 years older than he is? I don't... This whole storyline is like so dumb and I just don't fucking understand it. And Zeke, his whole thing in this show is that he's supposed to go into the NBA and stuff, and he's supposed to enter the draft or whatever. And you're telling me no NBA investigators looked up his age or at least did some sort of investigation to prove that he's actually 19 years old? Because Diana finds out he's Monet's son 2 seconds. She finds out like so fucking quickly, and it just baffles my mind that nobody else found out. It is the stupidest storyline in the entire Power universe, and I It's so dumb. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with this shit.
My dad. That wasn't my dad. Right, auntie?
Jesus Christ, Zeke, what the fuck? That ain't your fucking auntie. That's your mother.
Mo, what the fuck is she talking about?
Look at it. Look at it.
You little fucking bitch.
This ain't my birthday. It's the wrong year.
Zeke, when I called the hospital, they said they didn't have any records for an Ezekiel Cross born in 2002. But they for damn sure had one in 98.
Wait, so he's your older son, not me?
Zeke, you're not 19. You're 23.
But that means I broke NCAA regulations. The league's gonna think I lied about my age. That's gonna fuck up my draft. But I didn't lie. I didn't lie. You did. You lied.
Zeke found out his aunt is his mom and that he's 23 and not 19. And the first thing he thinks about is basketball, by the way. And then there's Kane just caring about not being the oldest son. What is going on? And why is Lorenzo here? He's just sitting there with a blank expression on his face. What is this character's point? Listen, I've never wrote a show before, but like, holy shit, I feel like I could have wrote this scene better. Any 15-year-old fanfic writer could have wrote this scene better. This entire storyline, this entire scene is the definition of a power show. Stupid, mindless entertainment. And that's about it. Seriously, show anyone who has never seen Power before this scene so they can 100% know what they are getting themselves into. If you like this plot twist, I'm happy for you. I really am. But I think this shit is the dumbest, craziest thing to ever come out of any Power show. Maybe any show in general, to be honest. And you can never, ever, ever change my mind about that. And I never want to see this scene again in my life. I never want to talk about it ever again. So yeah. Okay, I'm done now. And don't even get me started on the realism of the cop characters and the way their legal system works. But yeah, you get it. The power shows are something you have to just turn your brain off to watch. I know other drug crime shows sometimes have the dabbles with unrealism, but they make up for it with obviously superior writing. But also, it doesn't happen like all the time 24/7 like these shows. The power shows are the fast and furious of television. Number 3, repetitiveness. This one's gonna be pretty quick because I feel like it's such an obvious nitpick, but I feel like it's something that has to be mentioned. All the power shows are exactly the same shit. So it could get very boring after a while. Can you imagine the pain I had to go through? It was pretty much like I was watching the same shit over again, just with different faces. I understand it's a drug crime drama and it's going to be the same tone every time, but at least try to make the shows a little different. There's always the secrets carrying the storyline. There's always that I have to tell you something followed by an interruption where that something would have prevented a misunderstanding. There's always the theme of the parent not wanting their kid in the drug game. There's always the outburst scene telling someone to get the fuck out of my face. There's always the ending where the cops find something to put our protagonist in jail for good, which does not lead to anything. There's always a Mission Impossible villain that gets nerfed in the last episode of the first season they're introduced in. There's always a million sex scenes in one episode for no reason. There's always the character with daddy issues. I'm not gonna lie. I think almost every main character in this universe has either daddy or mommy issues. It's basically a tradition at this point, but yeah, you get the point. I don't want to like dwell on this because, you know, it's true. There's really nothing that can really be done. You know, drug crime shows are going to be the same tone and it's hard to make it different from other shows, especially if it's in its own universe. And I know all these flaws are made to represent the universe as a whole, but the funny thing is, they still represent each show as its own individual thing. Fuck it, let's just say there's no universe and these shows aren't connected to each other for 1 second. They all still get ruined on their own for these reasons. The villains in each show get worse. The realism is non-existent after a while, which makes it impossible to care about anything. And each show, every season, they still repeat the same storyline storylines, the same character arcs, the same pointless drama. It's the same thing every season. But yeah, you get the point. The audience could get very bored of seeing the same shit over and over again, with the writing getting worse and worse the more we watch.
And those are the 3 big reasons why the Power Universe is mid.
Okay, so I thought it'd be fun to just, I don't know, give my opinions on what I think the best and worst episode of the universe is. So this was hard because for all the shit I've talked in this video, there are actually some really good episodes of television in these shows. Season 3, episode 6 of book 1 is a fun adventure. Watching Ghost and Tommy chase Lobos down to kill him once and for all was extremely fun. Whenever these 3 characters are on screen together, it's hilarious. The Milan twist at the end got both me and Ghost shook. And then with the cherry on top, the hilarious Ghost and Angela breakup to end this excellent episode. Book 2, Season 1, Episode 10, the finale, is also great. And it kind of serves as the final conclusion to Book 1 in a way. It's like a passing of the torch of Tommy and Tasha's story to Tariq's new journey. And I like it a lot. And there's obviously a bunch of well-written episodes of Raising Kanan, but I think my favorite episode of the entire universe is Book 1, Season 2, Episode 10, the finale. I love this episode. Everything hits. The fight scene, the emotional scenes, the betrayal scenes, the twist that Ghost killed all the leaders within his network, the final battle between Kanan and Ghost, the ending, the dialogue. I think this episode kind of solidified Ghost as one of the greatest master tacticians in any drug show. If you ever try to take down Ghost in a way in which you're trying to outsmart him,
you can't win!
You can't beat him that way. He will be 10 steps ahead of you. You will not win. And it's highlighted in this episode massively. He manipulates everyone, manipulates any situation to his advantage, and in the end, he wins. He gets the girl, he gets the club, he gets the upper hand on Kanan, he gets out of the business, he gets his happy ending. Just for the sake of mentioning it, I haven't really talked about the action of the shows yet. I mean, there's really nothing to say, it's mostly just characters shooting each other. I could probably count on one hand the amount of actual choreographed fight scenes there are in the entire universe, and most of them aren't really great, but that fight scene between Kanan and Ghost is fire, my friends. Absolute fucking fire.
The fuck is this? It's the gun you used to kill your own son?
He wasn't my son no more. He was your son.
It's hands down the best fight scene in the entire universe, and I just feel like I have to mention it because it's in this episode. And if I'm gonna be honest, I think if Kanan actually died in this episode, like died, I think he would probably be remembered more fondly as a villain. After the season, he's just around. He doesn't really fit in the story anymore. He's just there. It doesn't hit the same. And I get it, he's the one to bring Tariq to the dark side or whatever, but that could be literally any other character, bro. And in a way, this episode is kind of the ending of OG Power's peak. It never really returned to this level of writing after season 2, and it sucks, but hey, it is what it is. And now the worst episode of the universe is Book 1, Season 6, Episode 15, the finale. Yep, we all saw this coming. Me and mostly everyone in the fan base hates this episode, and we all know why. Butchers, the character of Ghost, plays the victim card with Tariq and Tasha, which does not work for their characters, obviously. Tariq's monologue to Ghost before he kills him makes absolutely no sense.
You know, Kanan loved me, man. He would never hurt me.
Son, are you crazy?
Yes, he is crazy, and I have proof.
Man, I fucking hate my dad. This is me. Up to now, you still don't even see me for who I really am.
I'm you, Dad.
Wait a second, I thought he didn't want to be anything like his dad.
And I'm the manifestation of what he can never be. I'll do anything to go back. To go back to how it was before you left us for Angela.
You decided to leave this family for her.
I didn't leave our family. I left you.
There is nothing I like about this episode, nothing. I tried watching it a second time to see if I could like it, but no, I can't. I'm sorry. And it doesn't even feel like a true finale. It just feels like another bonus episode, part of the 5-episode arc of the whole Who Killed Ghost mystery thingy. The show easily could have just ended at episode 10. It would have had to have been written differently, obviously, or be a 2-hour special. But there's no reason for these 5 extra episodes. So before in the video, I've said that Omari Hardwick actually had his own ending for the show. He apparently wanted Ghost to die protecting Tommy. Ghost and Tommy in season 6 will be getting into their little life or death situations like every season, and Omari wanted Ghost to sacrifice his life for Tommy. He's also said that it would have been cool if Ghost and Tommy ended up dying together, and both of them dying would showcase the true meaning of their brotherhood. They came up in the drug business together, and they leave it together. And I kind of agree with what Omari Hardwick is saying. A core part of the show is Ghost and Tommy's friendship. Even now, one of my favorite scenes in the entire show, which is not a big action scene, it's not someone yelling at someone to get the fuck out of their face, there's no big reveal or anything like that. It's when Ghost is depressed in jail in season 4, and he calls Tommy and lets him know that he's going to get the death penalty if convicted. And Ghost asks him to take care of his family. It's such a beautiful scene that really showcases how pure their friendship is. They will always fight, they will always threaten to kill each other, but whenever one of them needs help, they will drop everything to make sure the other is okay. And Omari Hardwick and Joseph Sikora are incredible in this scene. You kind of just had to watch this episode to feel the emotion of this scene. Everything is just perfect about it. Like, their dynamic is one of the best parts of book 1, if not the best part of book 1. And in season 5, when Tommy kills Angela, you're expecting Ghost and Tommy to have an all-out war against each other for the final season. And then, in the end, they would reconcile and Ghost would die protecting his best friend. Or Ghost and Tommy would die together and that would be the end of the story. But instead, we just get this shit.
Oh, no, you still with me. You stay with me.
Yeah. Stay with you.
Stay with me.
Stay with you.
Ghost. Ghost, don't go. Ghost, Ghost!
But whatever. It's not the worst series finale of all time, I guess. Like, it's not this bad, or this bad, or that bad, or that bad, or even this bad. I fucking hate you. But anyway, yeah. This episode sucks. The backlash for this episode was insane, and I actually found out it's the worst rated episode in all of Power history, and I am not in the least bit surprised. Boom. Best and worst episode in my opinion. By the way, I know it's not necessary, but I just feel like I have to mention it. I am a black guy, by the way. I'm only saying this because I don't want a bunch of people being like, you're not black. Only black people can understand these shows. Like, relax, calm down. And even if I wasn't black, it doesn't matter. You could be black, white, Asian, Mexican, and you can still watch these shows. Like, they're just regular shows. They're not deep. They rarely deal with racial topics at all. It's just a normal ass drug show with black characters, and that's it. But it's not like they don't bring it up every once in a while. Racial topics are brought up from time to time, and to the show's credit, every once in a while it does it in a really impactful way that makes sense for that specific character who brings up the topic.
How do you get the blacks and the Latins to show up night after night and behave?
Well, I'm a black man from the hood. Most of the guys I came up with are either dead or in jail. I live in the penthouse of my building, above the lawyers and doctors trying to get into my club. See, people take you at face value, Simon. Me, well, I have to transform to meet everyone's expectations constantly. Truth isn't one thing because I'm not one thing. You understand? I take all my experiences and use them to cater to all different kinds of people. under one roof. Whether it's the black professional athlete ordering his next bottle of Ciroc, or whether it's the Wall Street motherfucker getting blackout drunk on the company's dime, I understand him. I get him. And because I get him, I get him. And because I get him, I get rich.
Okay, so it was announced last year that Book 2 and 4 were going to be cancelled because of expenses or whatever. Book 2 had its last and final season in Season 4 last year, and Book 4 will have its final third season in the near future. It was already also announced that there will be a Power Origins show revolving on the journey of young Ghost and Tommy, and since Raising Kanan will end after Season 5, I'm just gonna guess that some of the characters are just going to transport right into Power Origins, especially Kanan and Jukebox. I'm excited for Power Origins, but I'm very nervous because you have to get really good actors to mimic Ghost and Tommy, and it's gonna be tough because you can't just replicate Omari and Joseph's mannerisms and tone and their comedic timing and their banter together easy. It's gonna be hard to find young actors that can do that and please Power fans. But I hope it works out, and I'm hoping for the best. And Sasha Penn is gonna be a part of Power Origins, which is what it looks like is gonna happen. I have total faith in it. If you don't know who Sasha Penn is, he's the showrunner for Raising Kanan, aka the best spin-off in my opinion, and he was a writer for the earlier seasons of Book 1, which are widely regarded as the best seasons of the show. So I'm pretty sure Power Origins will be fine in his hands. This clip I'm showing you right now on the screen, this is not a clip from the show Shameless. This is an actual flashback of young Ghost and Tommy in Book 1. And hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie, if Ethan Kukowski wanted to play a younger Tommy in Origins, I wouldn't even be mad at it. I'm just kidding. I know he's obviously too old now, but he would have been a perfect young Tommy in another universe.
Don't say anything!
What a fucking lawyer, motherfucker. I'm really excited to see the trio of young Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan, because in Book 1, we don't really see them as this badass friend group. Even in Season 5, Kanan is not really cool with Ghost. He still has his own agendas. He's just pretending to be on their side. So I'm really excited to see all three of them on the same page. They're all bros, no one's betrayed anyone yet, and they're all the biggest drug dealers in Queens. I can't wait for that shit. I'm assuming at the end of Season 5 of Raising Kanan, there will be this Avengers post-credit scene, and two young kids will pop out of the shadows, and it's Ghost and Tommy, and Kanan's gonna be like, I'm here to talk to you guys about the Power Universe initiative, and that's it, and it just cuts to black. I'm actually really curious to see how the whole Power Universe ends. Is it just gonna end with Tariq dying? Or Tommy dying? It's gonna be fun to see. I could honestly see both of these characters dying or at least in jail by the end, because the characters don't really get happy endings in these shows. But yeah, after Raising Kanan ends, it's just gonna be Power Origins for a while and that's it. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be new spin-offs in the future though. I read somewhere that there was actually supposed to be a spin-off on the popular character Rashad Tate, but then it just got canceled before it even got started. I actually kind of wonder what it would have been like though, since the character is a politician. I'm assuming the show would have been a more political scandal drama, but whatever, it is what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut him a check. I can't get my hands on clean cash like that.
I can get it. I got leverage on somebody.
Leverage? Who you talking about, Ghost?
Nigga, what?
There was also talks of a Proctor prequel spin-off, which would have taken inspiration from Better Call Saul. There was talks of a Lobos prequel spin-off. There were also rumors that Dre was supposed to be the focus of the Book 2 spin-off instead of Tariq. But Rotimi, who plays Dre, wanted to focus on his music, so that went out the window. To be honest, if it's true, it's probably for the best. I don't think I would have been able to take Dre seriously as a protagonist of his own show, because every time he was on screen in Book 1, he just gets bitched around by every other main character.
I'm gonna sign the inside of your fucking skull with this pen. You hear me? Get the fuck out of my office.
I think it's very likely that Tommy and Tariq are going to come together on a new show or movie. I don't think they're gonna kill Tommy off in season 3, like there's no fucking way that's happening. He's most likely gonna come back with Tariq, and then some of the side characters from book 2 and 4 will be in that new show as well. So yeah, future me right here, just adding this part in. I guess we're getting that Tariq and Tommy spin-off after all. I don't know how I feel yet about the dynamic of Tariq and Tommy. In book 1, they have that uncle-nephew vibe, but their relationship got messed up a lot, obviously, when Tariq killed Ghost. They did kind of make up in book 2. There's even an end credit clip where Tariq gets a mysterious call, and I'm pretty sure it's Tommy.
Come on, we family for life. Send me the details, and I'll be there. I'm on my way.
But yeah, I hope it's good, and I hope all the side characters come back in this Infinity War Endgame style conclusion of the Power Universe. Bro, can you imagine a Kane and Tommy interaction? That shit will be the funniest thing in the world. But that might not happen because Woody McClane has recently spoke out that he does not want to be typecast in street roles anymore. It's something that he's always been very upset about. And you know what? I like Kane, but that's great for Woody McClane. He's honestly one of the most underrated actors in the industry right now. And I hope he gets more roles that aren't just him playing a bad boy or something. He's way too talented for that. But yeah, that's pretty much the future of the universe. After Power Origins and whatever they're gonna do with Tariq and Tommy, I kinda think they should just end it already or change the formula. I don't know if I want to see another show about a kid wanting to kill their parent. We already got that like 100 times already. I seriously wonder what the hell is gonna happen to this universe once it's all said and done. And who knows, maybe when there's a definitive conclusion, I'll make a video to tell you guys what I think.
Well, whatever happens, Reek, I'll always answer my phone for you.
I know. Same here, Uncle Tommy.
Alright, well yeah, that's the Power Universe, guys. So for all the shit I've talked in this video, this was a fun experience for me. It was fun to watch a franchise that I always knew was there, but never actually checked it out. And I think the big question of the day is, do I recommend these shows to you guys? Do I recommend the Power Universe to people who's never seen it? And yes, I do. While it has its highs and its lows, it's still an iconic, fun universe that deserves its respect. It has built a huge fan base over the decade. Even if you've never watched these shows, you still have probably seen clips of it online or heard people talk about it. It's always been around and will probably be around for 10 more years if we're all being honest. And one thing's for certain, these shows will always be entertaining and they will always be comfort food for people. If that's the legacy it leaves behind, that's not too bad. I think Power is the only thing Starz got going for them right now. It's the only thing that attracts audiences. Oh, and this, I've never seen BMF before. I hear it's pretty bad, but apparently it has a fan base as well. I'm still not sure what the general opinion is on this universe. I obviously experienced it in a bubble because I just binged the entire fucking shit in like 3 months. But they have to be doing something right because the network just keeps throwing spin-offs at us almost 11 years after the pilot of book 1. I wouldn't even be surprised at this point if we get a Monet and Lorenzo prequel coming soon. I'm just kidding. I hope that never fucking happens. Sorry the video took a long time to come out. It was just a bitch to binge all these shows as fast as I could. I know most of you guys probably forgot I existed, but I would try to get my next video out soon. I'll try not to take 7 months to post it, but give me a break. This video is almost 3 hours long and it took a lot of work and it kind of drove me fucking insane. Haha. And I actually kind of already have an idea of what video is coming next. You know, I did Empire, I did Power. It only makes sense I do the other show that was popping around that time. If you guys want to see that, of course. If you want to let me know any other shows, underrated gems, or phenomenons you would like me to cover, I will gladly take a look at them. Before I forget, yes, each opening theme song for each show are amazing. I haven't played any of them in this video because I don't want to deal with the copyright of all that, but the songs on the opening credits are dope. Sir, you are a musical genius. But anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. I am your mystical film nerd. If you want to hear more of my goofy voice, then you're welcome to subscribe for more. I will not stop you from subscribing. I hope everyone stays safe and happy and healthy, and yeah. Bye.